these teams, and I think that's why we're seeing some of this variance right now.
Okay. Well, on that note about the zones being so hard to play, I mean, maybe I'm just too amateur at this, but Maxman, in my opinion, I feel like a team should be able to play any zone, shifting in your favor or against your favor. What's your thoughts?
Exactly. I mean, we were talking about it with Tarzan quite a bit during the games, and we were saying, like, these hardships, they're not fun. It goes east, north, south, it is all over the place. But, of course, if you're a team that can respond to these kind of hard circle shifts, you'll be in a good situation. And I think one of the teams yesterday, especially, that dealt really well, especially on the wrangle for these hard
What's up, guys?
Secret, and they're the second top best team yesterday in terms of points gained. So I want to see more of potentially Team Secret, and I want to see more teams trying to adapt to these hard circle shifts.
Getting a little bit worried, Max, but it's like you got the Maxman blessing now. It used to be the Kalaris blessing, but like the teams you keep talking about seem to step up when you call for it. Stalwart in League Stage, Team Secret here, the Super Weekend. And as you guys can see, if you didn't miss or if you didn't join any of the days here so far, it is a 3-week-long event with a weekday section on Tuesday.
Welcome to Gang OG. Do I know Tyler won? Yes, I know if Tyler won.
20 teams, top 16 will advance into our Super
What's up, Raven?
Weekend.
Haven't seen you in a bit. What's up, bro?
You get the Super Weekend will stick around into our league finals, and at the end of our
What's up, Zed? What's up, Sanjay?
16 teams will go into those league finals, where it'll be across 4 days, 6 matches a day, until we have our top 9 teams. Now, those 9 teams go into the global finals with 6 teams from the West and 1 special invite.
I'm a little bit early
today. We're not sure exactly how they're going to be inviting a team, what team it's going to be, but I can tell you what is going to be awesome to have India back here in the
Hey, beautiful
stage.
flowers.
And, I mean,
What's
I
up, Rag
don't know
Football?
what to expect out of these teams. We got to see
Yeah,
Worlds,
DRS number
actually,
4.
Lars. I mean, you were there, hosted it. back
Let's
in
see how this
Orange
first
Rock,
Super
right?
Weekend ends for
We got to
everybody.
see the power of India. We haven't seen it in a long time, but I'm excited to see them come back in full force.
Yeah, definitely. They were dealt a rough hand, but now you can tell that how hungry they have been.
Oh, you've been moving houses,
on the
okay.
world stage, and I think, you know, when you're kind of
Can
checking
you
in with
explain
everyone,
this
some teams,
structure?
exactly, you know, how excited they are for the
It's
opportunity
basically
to
like
get
PEL,
very
if
much
you're
looking
familiar
forward
with
to seeing them
PEL.
back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You have your Super Weekend, you have your regular league days, and then after 3 Super Weekends, top 16 go into the finals.
From India is actually going to be playing. I'm going to be genuinely surprised, so we better see it.
Well, now I'm a little bit sad I missed out on this because I was doing the West League in that one. I don't even know what that means.
And then from the finals for this one, for PMGC East, top 9 from the finals go to the Grand Finals, and top 6 from the West Finals go to the Grand Finals from the Western League. And then India gets the 1 invite, which makes a total of 16 teams.
Like, there's a lot of money in the lines when it comes to just the league stages alone, but also in the finals as well. We're not sure exactly how the prize pool is going to break down there, but I'm almost assuming first place is going to be getting over $1 million. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that one, but it kind of makes sense.
I mean, if you win at the league stage, plus also the grand finals, then yes, 100%, Jason. My math isn't on point, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be over $1 million, and I can tell you, that's a lot of 1+, so you definitely want to win.
That is a lot of 1+, indeed. We can see here the teams that did make it into the Super Weekend. Now, Kalaris, we got to talk about your opinion on what happened yesterday a little bit, but what about some teams necessarily that you really focused on of like, wow, they really stepped up, or maybe got a little bit lucky with how the zones did shift in their favor?
I mean, yeah, I don't.
Hey, Pishkar, good to see you here. Will Nova get a winner chicken dinner today? If Nova's gonna step up, it's gonna be today, because Nova always starts playing better towards the end. Do you think A7 will make top 3 by the end of day? Yes, A7 for PMGC West, I think they'll be top 3.
When you look at the Infinity's Secret 4 rivals, what they were able to put up yesterday was nothing short of spectacular. I was definitely impressed by the Infinity's, not consistency per se, but their highs. I mean, if you look at their past 4 games, you know, 2nd place, 8 kills, 10th place, then a 1st place, then a 10th place. But even in some of those 10th places, they're still able to get a few kills and kind of find those consolation moments when maybe those circles are not going their way. So I like what the Infinity was able to put up yesterday.
And on that note, I mean, if you look back at every match they've had so far, they had let's just go over like the kills, right?
Team Secret's doing really good too.
10 kills, 2nd place. They had
Team Secret,
4th
Infinity,
place, only 1 elimination, but then you go on later on.
DRS, 4 rivals.
8 eliminations. They get another 2nd place with 8 eliminations. Like, they're consistently, when they place high, it seems, getting up a lot of elims. So it seems like the positions they're taking.
What's my outlook on Nepal teams?
Heavily in their favor.
I think they have a
game,
lot of potential, and they're
right
doing really good right now.
That happens just after, so it's great to see. And I think the main reason why
I mean,
see
DRS is
Infinity
doing
so
really
well, right,
good.
you can see on the screen, 119 points. This team is fragging out big time. But you have Newsy, which is basically somewhat scouting for the team. I say somewhat because when he sees you, he doesn't say, "Oh, there's information."
Infinity's been the most impressive right now, obviously.
He doesn't care about giving information. The information he wants to give to his team.
I'm impressed with Rejects too, because Japan has usually been a weaker region, but they're doing good.
So 119, they were super consistent. They got their first chicken dinner yesterday.
Why is TJB doing so bad? I've already said TJB is not a team that I feel like represents China well. TJB is a really weak Chinese team, so I'm not surprised that they're not doing well. Nova, I would expect to be doing better, but it's the last day, so Nova usually starts doing better towards the end.
And is able to really clutch out. So Infinity could be even, 25.
And I also think the Chinese teams are just getting used to like the zones in the game
you're
right
saying
now.
They could be on S2G's level over in West with like 170 points so far accrued from the first 2 days. I mean, that team right now.
Yeah, S2G for West is super impressive. That's crazy.
But as you can see here, TJB, the bottom of the table. But we need to remind people at home again. Yeah, you get 40, 50, maybe 60 points in the first Super Weekend. It's still good. It means you have a 60-point buffer against any new teams that come into the Super Weekend in the next week. If you don't requalify, you have a little bit of buffer to play with. If you didn't qualify the first weekend, you're consistently having to catch up. You have to requalify. You have to qualify both Super Weekends.
Did I buy the dip?
Really gain on
no, I fucked up, bro.
Doesn't requalify in another week.
I sold on the dip
as many points as possible, and yeah,
because
39, but you know what? It's not that big of a deal. You still have another.
So it dipped, right? It could still dip back down way past that initial dip because with COVID happening, and I just feel like with the holidays about to come up, and you mix that with potential COVID news, I feel like in another week's time, it's gonna dip a lot. I thought it would dip even more just yesterday, like beyond the initial dip. So I sold thinking it was going to dip even more, but it didn't. It's going back up. But I think, I don't know, with the new COVID strain and everything, like COVID news and holidays just never mix well together. So I think it's going to dip back down by a lot. So then I could buy back in. Hopefully that happens. But
yeah. To be fair, Max, and this is no BM, but I just want to see them have a good finish finally in the Super Weekend. They've had one third place, and that's it. They had 2 eliminations off the back.
Why am I not wearing glasses on the West stream? I'm wearing contacts. I have contacts on during the West stream.
Sponsor of the PMGC with its flagship performance and immersive 120Hz display and hyper-touch technology made specifically for gamers. The OnePlus 9 and 9 Pro are your best shot to climb the leaderboards. And maybe TJB need to cop some of those because climbing the leaderboards is something they're looking to do today here, guys.
Yeah, definitely so. Definitely so. And another team that actually,
one thing in the market is that event never happens twice. Have I crossed 10K loss? No, I haven't. I've lost I've lost like 3K right now so far.
And I think considering what they put up in day number 1 wasn't quite that spectacular. And I think, some people have some expectations.
So I haven't lost too much.
Considering, I think their rise throughout maybe the last year and a half or so.
Yeah, I mean, throughout the past year and a half, we've been hyping up the Japanese region as a whole to see if they can potentially...
I don't remember that fight that you're talking about, not Jericho. And I'm not going to be watching other things. Alpha 7 already did a really good comeback. You look so tired in West casting. It's because, like, I'm Asian. Like, my eyes are just smaller. So it looks like I'm tired, but... Here, let me show you guys. So, this is where I stand, okay?
Yeah, and I'm so glad you actually both
for West casting.
And the improvement over the last year. You look at
I have to stand further back
from last year. Who, like for instance, Nova. I mean, I guess they don't really put too much effort into Super Weekends as long as they're.
So the camera's like this.
Top 16 to make it into the league finals.
I stand over here.
This team, I mean, Bluebees, like they've had like with 2 or 3 players returning from that same
this
lineup.
Is
they've
like
kind of really
my
got
normal
into the hyperbolic time
eyes
chamber
right
this
here.
last year and
like
come
right
back
here.
into PMGC into the Super Weekends where they struggled previously.
My eyes are just smaller.
And to be honest, like. Me,
I just have smaller eyes because I'm Asian, so it looks like I'm like tired.
Really grind out that year and come back with a
let me mute the.
In this world stage,
and it shows.
Let me mute the casters. So this is my normal eye-opening size right here. Like, I'm not tired right now, and this is my normal eye-opening size. So I have to, like, make sure I, like, open my eyes up really hard, and that's just, like, it's just uncomfortable. So this is, like, this is normal. Like this. So you see, like, why I might look tired? Yeah. I'm 100% Chinese, so I have smaller eyes, so that's why I look tired. But I'm not actually, like, as tired as I look. Yeah, I know, like, people have been saying in the chat, like, I look really tired, I should get some more sleep, which I will agree, like, I've been really busy. I haven't been sleeping as much because I'm watching this and I'm doing PMGC West. So, yeah, I am a little bit more tired than usual, but I think the main reason why I look so tired, like, more than normal, is because I'm having to stand further back just due to the way the setup is. And my eyes are just naturally smaller because I'm Asian, or Chinese to be exact. And then so I just look more tired because my eyes are more closed.
By them. I think though what is important to take away from this leaderboard though, Jason, is the fact that because we're in
Have I heard about Shill? No, I don't know what that is.
Down towards the bottom, I don't think it really tells the tale of the tape here. I think that
The Red Bull tournament's exciting because there's only one match remaining.
Push up, down towards the bottom. Because look at the big
My opinion on Ghost. Ghost is just they play like a very different style than a lot of other teams.
And BTR that did not qualify. And a point lead, there's so far about 39 points for TJP, 46 for also Cryptics, 46.
But it works. I want to see how Ghost does and the global champions. So
you gotta be careful. Not only do you gotta try and have a good third day.
I feel like the harder the lobby is, the better the Ghost will do.
That's a good point, Jason.
Because the way the Ghost plays is like, it's hard to explain.
Jason asked me, do I think that they're a 16th place team? Quick.
ZooTay's tired because Sakurai not around.
I got a question here for you. Now, you might need to really mull this one over and think about it really quickly.
The way they saved Paraboy is impressive. That's why I want to see. Oh, I did a video on that. Well, I don't have a YouTube video on that, but I remember I live streamed and I talked about how they saved Paraboy that match. It was the Erangel game. I remember what you're talking about. RIQ knocked Paraboy, and then it looked like Paraboy should have died, but Nova managed to save him.
Oh, absolutely. 14th place? No, get out of here. They're not that bad at all. Like, they're going to be able to push up as well.
West versus East, which wins? I think East is more advanced, but Alpha 7 and S2G, I don't know, man. If S2G could keep up whatever they're doing, like, S2G and Alpha 7 for the West, I think, have potential to be East teams. But East teams are overall, I think, much stronger. I'm binge watching your analysis video and past streams. Appreciate it. Did you find yourself a team? No, it's going to take a while before any coaching updates for India.
But I do think that, you know, this is the one time I might disagree with Kalaris, you know, like, yes, there might not be a 16th place team, but I do think that, yeah, a bit of that unluckiness, not sure. I mean, Sandhawk in particular, they went to that compound towards Quarry. Yes, they got the Central.
I already talked to Thug and Scout. They're really busy right now with tournaments and stuff. So I'm going to just let them focus on that. I'm looking to be a coach like next year. I'm in no rush to do coaching right now because they have BGIS to focus on, and if I start coaching right now, that's not enough time to be effective as a coach, so I'm in no rush to find a team to coach right now. It's mainly for the next year.
in the end of it. Again, also Newsy doing incredible work for this team from the Infinity. He's had some very clutch moments so far.
I'll look to do some analysis today.
Yesterday on Sandhawk,
Hopefully we can catch something interesting and I could do some analysis and then I could upload it too.
So close so many times yesterday. I think now is the time.
I should pin my most recent video, huh? My most recent analysis video. I'm gonna try and like promote my videos more. Like my uploaded video count is pretty low just because I'm not a very consistent uploader and I need to still practice on making videos. So for now, I'm just gonna upload like parts from the stream, like analytic parts from the stream. Actually, we're at 6K. That's a lot better than I expected. So thank you guys. Thank you to Zoo Nation. Hashtag Zoo Nation Strong. Thank you guys for watching it if you've watched it. And special thank yous to the people that might have watched it more than once.
Most teams, what they should be more focused on, rather than hitting like a specific point margin, is just getting as many points as possible. You want to be able to build up that buffer just in case you miss out on one of those super weekends. It does happen to some of these teams, and I think that even more than that, if BTR can turn things around, if FaZe can turn something around, you know,
soon 50K. Yeah, I'll hit 50K very soon.
We know how good
By the way,
so
if you guys like my analysis stuff, or okay, actually, if you guys like me as like a person, follow me on Instagram. I plan on sharing a little bit more and more of my personal life on Instagram, like what I'm doing each day, how I'm feeling from time to time. Just more pictures of, I guess, me on my Instagram story and stuff.
Just scraping by to get into
Check Nova POV.
That's an alright result, but they're not really showing me that they're a finals team. So BTR
is something happening with Nova?
With how close it was with BTR not getting in, get into that next super weekend.
Can you link me the different POVs again? Actually, I should be able to find it in my history. Actually, they change the POV channel, don't they, each time?
So even if they're only just qualifying, it absolutely can be a shift in momentum from these days to days. So hopefully we'll see more from some of the teams we're not seeing today. But we're only going to see stuff from the teams we are seeing today. I mean, I feel like that's pretty self-evident.
Oh, okay. I was hoping I could find the YouTube link because it'll be easier.
Not gonna get any sneaky beavers coming in to this lobby here. They will be shift. Like watching room and moving into the actual play.
Okay, what's going on with Nova?
Right, though, the Infinity Team Secret, massive momentum shift.
I can't log in.
I think specifically
so
Team Secret, it's a great example of what can.
Oh, they're just in the open. They didn't find any vehicles.
Which is that, you know, they're so much quicker on these rotates, so much faster overall.
So QC's playing again today.
Central spots in the game. I think that's a massive change for them. I think they just had to realize that yes, they can go toe to toe.
Did King like mess up at some point or something? I did turn off my stream. It's like a weird YouTube glitch. It just keeps going on. Have I gotten BGIS permission? No, not yet still. So, you know, add your latest video link it. What do you mean? Oh, like on my Instagram? I put it on my story already. I should probably make an actual
Nova on our screen, 10th place.
I don't want to make an actual Instagram post though. I'll just put it on my story for the YouTube.
The rest of the guys not really stepping up as much.
Open an OnlyFans account. Not gonna do that.
Last time I saw him.
I don't know what I'm gonna do for 50K, but
it does feel like he's getting caught out a few times and not able to.
I don't know. What should I do for 50K?
They're right on that boundary as well. For the South.
Just link the new video in the chat. It's already linked. The video I posted yesterday.
Interesting drop spot. Infinity.
If possible, what country would you like to move to coach teams?
Around, they go right up to the northwest. I mean, the plane path was fairly northern so maybe they didn't want to go
Probably Japan.
down that way in the vehicles, get some loot.
Japan would be my first pick that I would move to because Japan has pretty. I love sushi.
I do think it's
And Japan is great for sushi.
Drop spot here. Unfortunately, it doesn't really
And
work out
they
the
can
way
pay
they wanted
very
it to
well
with
too
the
in
circle.
Japan.
And I think that's purely the only reason we're seeing Stalwart down towards Nova at the moment is because they
Dance
waited
until
to drop out
50,000
behind down
completed.
towards
I don't
shelter,
think I'm
build
gonna
the
do
side,
that.
pick up some vehicles
Show
down
us your
towards
6
Nova,
packs
time to
on
do some stuff there.
50K.
And I think that
Go
that
shirtless
extra
for
time playing
50K.
afforded them time to realize where is that circle going to drop. What do we
A
do?
dance
Instead,
video
the
for
ability to have to
50K?
make a snap decision depending on the playing path, which is not really viable heading towards Sosnovka. Said toward Zark instead. So all in all, 2 smart decisions from both these teams.
These are some good suggestions. I'll keep. Maybe I'll do a little bit of everything for 50K.
Had that same look in terms of the circle.
Here's the link. Ujuju was there before.
This circle's coming through. It's very,
Okay.
very much down towards the southeast.
Oh,
We've been
okay.
expecting northern
Whoops.
shifts up towards river. This time we're going to move away from that over towards the east side of the map now.
See where it does drop in the end. I mean, it's potential for a military base,
these are-
but it feels unlikely given this circle shift. You have to feel that it's going to be on that mainland. A little bit of a scuffle breaking out the hillside. Pubg taking fire.
Alright, okay. Let's see if we could analyze anything that might stand out today. I'm gonna pay a little more attention. Special analysis video for 50K.
These guys are now in for a little bit of a test here.
1 Bitcoin giveaway. I'm not gonna
And
do
so
that.
we've got to figure out how they're going to make towards the center of this circle because they drop towards hospital.
I'll show y'all my
I do
2
think
6
this is a
packs.
good
1
time
is
now for
empty.
us to see just how Tongjabao does
You guys have some
rotate,
weird suggestions
because
now.
we know they like center, but they're almost
Do a
certainly
vlog or maybe a
more
behind the
towards edge
scenes.
side for the majority of the game. They go down early,
I might
that's gonna
do.
be,
I think for the 50K, based on what you guys are saying, I'll do a more personal video. Right? Your journey so far on 50K.
because, you know, without this ability to immediately take
I
center,
think I'll do
it's
that.
all up for the majority of the game.
I think I'll do like
It's
a journey video so far on 50K.
It's pretty diabolical considering they have the
That
center
sounds like
for
a
so many
good
times.
idea. I'd have to go through a lot of footage though.
So Tongjabao, we'll keep an eye on this game. I think this rotate underneath Pachinki over towards the coastal side on those roads is going to be very, very important. We'll see what they make happen, but I don't think we're going to see any crazy shifts.
Open
in
all
terms
your
of
coupons on
momentum or
50K.
movement, towards
Do
that
I have
center.
Bitcoin? No, I'm just doing Ethereum.
Making their way to the north side of Potato Hill right now. Third place in our tournament overall.
Give us a no way home ticket
Tying
each.
kill lead win.
Can I increase the size of the cam? I'll increase it a little bit.
A lot of work in these circles.
There.
And it feels like I haven't been paying attention as much to them as maybe I should have done, because I feel like they have exceeded my expectations for them.
You should try Singapore. Singapore is nice
They
too.
absolutely have shot up those rankings, and to be in the conversation there, I think is an excellent achievement.
Yeah, it really is for the time being. Both these teams, well, this team in
Ooh,
particular doing
okay.
very, very well so far.
Nova
And
super
it is a
split still.
surprise. It is a change to the
So,
paradigm that we see
Nova's
so
not
far
doing
from
as good. I would say they should group up a little
It's
more,
exciting
but
for me
knowing
because
the
I
way
think
Chinese
you
teams
guys
play,
talk about this,
they
but
will not.
in that bottom 20, like
They'll stick to
already,
what they
so
think is the best
he's
thing.
cracking up to be one of the most exciting
Like that
tournaments
one
of
thing
the
with
year, if not the
Chinese
most
teams is
exciting
like they
tournament
don't
of the
give
year.
up. Like
You know, imagine
just
being
because they're
in
doing
the
bad
first
doesn't mean they're gonna start
so
playing
let's
more
go
safe.
there.
They're
Other
gonna
than
play the
that,
way
we've got
that they
one
feel
team
like
that
is the
seems
best
to
way
just
to play,
completely
assuming
fly out
each
control.
player
We're not
doesn't
seeing
make
that
any
here at least. You know,
mistakes.
we've got a much more level playing
So
field.
I think Nova's gonna
And I
stay
think I would
split
prefer
there.
that, though. Big congrats to S2G. You guys are killing it.
Yeah, and they're gouging out the points for sort of the middle of the tables. What that means that is here we have, as you say, that flatter distribution of points across the lobby.
Oh, Chinese versus Chinese.
It's going to make it harder. Oh, okay, hang on a minute. Tongjabao. I'll come back to that in a minute. Taking on team from the same region, 628 right now. Sunan is going to go down. I think they're not even going to try and get this player back up. Can they get an answer? Not really. They don't really have.
How did that player not know TJB pulled up on them?
So that's a pretty decent start, and again, this is being able to be quick with your rotations, get into position, and I think for STE losing Dao Shi now, not the best of things in the world.
TJB's gonna push, I think, maybe. TJB might push STE now.
Being able to take these compounds is good. I do think it's a product almost of 628's playstyle though, which is very lax at times.
There you go, 2 players from PUBGMOBILE rocking on forward. The attacker goes low, the spray down's good onto 1, and the second as well. 2 players fall. Now 33Z, maybe looking to try and come in.
TJB on the revenge.
Better of it. Last player standing for 6-8. Just want to get out of dodge, get away from there. Try and keep towards the top side of these tables. Currently 6th place, 88 points.
But that mentality isn't good. Adaptation is the key to winning. I am going to disagree with that. There's a difference between adapting and playing more safe because your team is not doing well. There's a difference between adapting and playing more safe or more scared because your team isn't doing well.
This is good news for PUBG. Again, they still have to force their way.
For example, the best example I could give that happened recently is Nova dropping a Painon fighting Nova versus TEC in Painon.
Team Secret, they lose 1. They miss Chumbury. Able to find that flash just below.
Nova was losing so many fights against TEC and Painon, but they never gave up. They kept dropping there. They kept trying to improve. And eventually, they won Painon for themselves, and they won the grand finals for that season. So there's a difference between adapting and sticking to what you think is the best.
Especially coming from the northern side, there's no way you get through because most teams are going to rotate safely over that northern.
Yeah, and this is only week 1.
Team Secret adding into the mix there, it becomes a little bit difficult for them. But they've realized that, you know what, we have.
I haven't seen the map yet, so I don't know if Nova's still split or not, but we'll see on this circle shift. Ooh, the circle shifted up north.
Out in the open as well. There's no way you're getting back.
That's definitely off Nova. Yeah, see, Nova's still split. Nova's still very split like this. TJB's pretty split too. RC's playing together. Where's the #1 team right now? Infinity is... I couldn't find Infinity.
Genesis Dogma tried to hold them out earlier on, but now Stalwart really getting a lot of dividends for that push they made towards Novo. They've got looted up. They'll be heavily ready to go. And now they can kind of move towards that east.
What happened was the story between my IG story? Nothing. I'm just like feeling a little burned out. Just reminding myself to keep going.
Straight towards the center as well, to the north side of Farm. The fight from Nova as they push into Reject. This time around, Reject not going to be able to hold this one out. They're not going to be able to take down Jimmy this time. Jimmy takes the building back.
Looking to hold on to this one for the time being. And I think Nova, yeah, we did need to see a big improvement from
Yeah, yesterday my stream just didn't end for some reason. I ended my stream on OBS. I disconnected my stream on Restream. And for some reason it just kept going. Oh, they're bottom left? Okay. Oh, they're way on the edge then.
When it comes to all the tournaments around the world, and I think that they've been grinding very hard.
Okay. Oh, there's Infinity. Okay.
They've breathed that fresh air of sitting on top of the throne, but never quite sat on it.
Maybe I should do an Infinity analysis.
For these kind of teams to really take their rightful place.
TJB's gonna take the.
They're going over the West Bridge.
Oh.
Onto Military Island. They're going to try and swing round behind Stalwart, I imagine. Either that or
this is interesting.
And go on the south coast. But this is an interesting move from them. It's something that we haven't really seen from them before.
I think
it's a great move as well.
I think that rotation by TJB works better in PEL because the blue zone doesn't damage your HP. This might be a little bit. That rotation might be a little bit harder for them to do in the global version of the game.
So I think that yes, they might.
Only S has retired a long time ago.
We're currently holding buildings just down towards the south side of Milta, so they do have eyes on those bridges. The Infinity's already sending out wide.
Oh, Paraboy's about to get a knock.
Position, but this is a smart rotation.
I'm watching the kill feed. I'm looking for that M16 headshot knock from Paraboy. But the Japanese are really good at gun skill. Oh, looks like that player did get tagged up by Paraboy. That player definitely got headshot by one bullet by Paraboy right there. He was like 60% HP. So Infinity staying on the edge, coming in from the south. Oh, that's a good shift for Infinity.
Circle does go down south as well, so this just increases the value of PUBGMOBILE's next rotation.
TJB and Infinity should fight though.
Through, they'd have to move too much further as well.
TJB and Infinity might fight soon.
What I don't want to see is them come through looking hot and then fizzle out. As they
You get hardly hear game sound.
They've been affording a lot of agency now.
Oh, Infinity's actually gonna crash and fight another
They can
team.
make it work, great, but I still don't see them on the map.
Okay, I increased it some more.
Later.
Little bit
Team
of a
Secret though.
scuffle here on the south side though, because Team Infinity's pushed in to try and crash on Nigma Galaxy. 3 players up on the wall. Reject get eliminated in the meantime. There are a couple of teams trying to make their way ahead. That was Genesis Dogma taking them down right in the center. As the central compounds here are incredibly valuable. Reject find out all about.
Oh, Nova getting crashed.
Already back.
By what team?
Yeah, this is a very, very good compound.
Oh, 4 Rivals. 4 Rivals is a pretty strong team, but that's a really bad crash.
So we're gonna get some nice fights coming through. 4 Rivals all down on their bellies, trying to make their way in, but still on the western side, they will have to contend with teams like Cryptics, who will be moving on afterwards. Nova is having none of it though.
Throw down smokes, smoke off the backside so they can start pushing.
They're taking knocks all over the place. Nice nade. Might start to make things a bit more difficult for them. And
Order 1v1.
Split going on. Jimmy does go down.
Oh, they thirsted Jimmy.
There's flushed as well, so will be fully eliminated there. QC1 around the side, saves himself from the bullets.
Oh, Order got super hurt too.
For the 4 Rivals left, and that's
Oh, who the heck killed 4 Rivals there? Cryptics from distance.
Has to crawl back inside, not entirely sure where that one came from. In the meantime as well, on the southwestern edge, Infinities took out a player from Nigma Galaxy. They took
TJB's dying to zone.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell the Xavier Duck saw that from all the way.
No, I predicted it. I said that rotation works better in PEL, but not in the global version of the game. They're not used to the zone damage.
Nice rotate here. You know, they've fought for that northern edge a little bit, but now they can.
Do I have the map stream open too? I do not have the map stream.
Position towards that east side. Stay safe. Stay comfy. We'll play out the rest of the game a little bit longer. We don't really.
So Infinity forced.
No utility.
I think that was Nigma Galaxy.
Those smokes that they threw.
Infinity pushed and forced that team out.
On a 5th game on a wrangle were so strong in allowing them to win that game.
Xavier have the combat on the north, and they're trying to stop MS Jonbury from moving on through. PUBGMOBILE lost 2 players on their southern rotation.
Nova's lagging. It does look like they're lagging, but I think everybody's dealing with a bit of lag.
In the way. And a lot of these teams now on the outskirts of this circle, but the central set of compounds is so hotly contested. You can see 4 teams really close to each other there on the minimap.
PUBGMOBILE's down to 2 players.
Yeah.
So something terribly wrong happened whilst they were rotating. I'm not sure what, but they've only got 2 in. Now it's a case of being able to hold out for a little bit longer. You know, you've made that rotate, you've found a position in the circle. Now you're looking for maybe a top 8 placing with those 2 players, or trying to sneak in towards the end. Again, though, like 14 teams, 48 alive. If you're just 2 guys here and Stalwart is just ahead of you, it's a bit rough. They've got a 2-2 split going on. You can see it there. They control a large amount of the land.
That's a good circle for Infinity if they play it right. There's like a big dip around here that they could play in. That's pretty safe. But they just have to make sure they killed Nigma Galaxy.
Oh,
okay, they don't want to play that dip. That dip is right over here. Oh, this is so good for Infinity, actually. They could see this fight happening and just come third party this.
In the shed, 1 player stands tall. Lord looking to try and take care of it, but Bamboo with a death nade is good. Looking for it. And
oh, here comes another team.
Think twice about it. Not going to go down to the nade and even might get this res. But in comes another team. It's the Deadeyes guys as they saddle on up to the fight, and they're going to be the.
All right, here this should be Infinity's third party push now.
In the end, 6 points for PUBGMOBILE.
Notice how Infinity,
yeah, I mean, that was a great nade from
because they control that southwest side, they don't have to full send that shack to push it. They just put a player at a different angle to suppress the shack. I'm looking for Infinity to get some knocks on Deadeyes right now, and then they can push in.
Take the shack. It's not great. It's not the greatest of positions, but Stalwart's still holding on to this fantastic compound at the moment. Nova get the short end of the stick towards the center of the circle as we head down towards the south side. But they'll have Rico Infinity team looking at them. They'll have Genesis Dogma looking at them.
Team Secret very close to the Xavier right now. Sprays some DRS with oversight on the fight. Raviz low hits the deck, but Jumper's the first to fall in the scuffle. Has to go down behind that buggy. Look at their health.
No knocks on Deadass yet,
so
so.
low, but they're staying alive and they can get these heals off flank.
Pico with the
Pico,
sniper, bro.
Along the way from STE's taking shots towards this fight. That's why Xavier went quite low there. IKD5 tries to move out
really good
wide,
pre-nades by
spread out,
TJB.
so Team Secret just using these smokes to advantage to reposition and re-angle themselves in this fight.
I think Infinity might just be playing the dip now that I was talking about.
So much fighting going on at the moment.
Mela gets
DRS
knocked.
trying to come up against Xavier. Team Secret saved by this team for the time being, but again, there's still shots ringing out all over the map.
Oh, Mela got knocked and
bloody
thirsted.
hillside that's going to be on the northeast as well as on the south side. Cryptics struggling.
How did Mela get knocked and thirsted?
Maybe looking to push up towards Nova. It's all popping off now. Infinities. They had one player go down there. Mela flushed out as well. They have got a little opening in that side of the circle. Genesis Dogma, they're taking shots time and time again.
I feel like Infinity could have pushed that shack.
Good post to play from the moment. I think Genesis Dogma is surprised.
Take out that team, because that team kind of causes them trouble now.
Quite a difficult team to play against, and they tend to really be able to hold down onto their areas. They've got great teamwork. Rico Infinity team trying to hold down a shack. As
STE is popping off, though.
Stalwart taking down the Infinity in the meantime.
Rico Infinity team, one gets dropped out in the field, and they're looking to shut them down. They will be able to do so. Rico Infinity team guard out Nova. What a shift to Infinities.
Nova's out.
Now they have Cryo Compound, Team Secret. They can have a long road ahead of them. With a player down, that's going to slow them really quite dramatically. Unfortunately, not for much longer, as they do just straight up lose that player.
STE's popping off.
Death grip on the northeast.
Is there prize money for league winners? I don't think so. There should be.
Time to clear out these remaining players from Xavier. They've lost
there's special prizes awarded to individual players based on their league performance and finals performance combined.
Going forward.
Which is not really coming through just yet. It's
STE was getting knocks on Infinity from a very long distance.
Trying to play this edge, but they're only two. Four up. Four. Gonna have to push on through. Team Secret now in a last chance fight. iShots wins one, but can't find the second. Bredo looking for retribution, but he's gonna lose this teammate no matter what. And across the way, he's spoiled there. Team Secret eliminated. Deadeye's guys continue to try and move, but Stalwart just spraying into this smoke, forcing them to hit the deck.
I mean, Deadeye guys didn't have the greatest position overall towards that shack, but they were closer to the circle. And Stalwart's kind of held them out for a long time. They take shots backwards and forwards, but with the man advantage that Stalwart currently have now, they're looking much stronger, moving out towards the northern side, knowing there's a lot of chaos over towards there, so they can potentially move through. But Genesis Dogma, now they need to hold back Rico Infinity. Damn. Already Boom's going down.
And getting flushed out as well. The nade being cooked by Satar, but needs to be a little bit careful there. Stops the players pushing into the building with the nade dropped down, but
he should have changed his position way earlier on.
The Molotov, pretty crucially there as we hop on board with the southeastern fight as well as that crash happens.
It's probably Stalwart's game to win, I think.
Down and a nice hold for Genesis Dogma.
Actually, we'll see what happens.
Going to go that far. They lose an ass, but they claim the northern compound.
Rico Infinity coming back into it, seeing a lot of these
Pika's
games
knocked
that
and
we weren't
finished.
too sure about yesterday, who had fallen off slightly. Rico Infinity team Stalwart, but now down to a three-way fight, I would say, between Stalwart, the Infinity, as well as Rico Infinity team. I believe that, you know what, Love probably not going to be in this circle for too much longer.
All right, yes, never mind. Stalwart doesn't have a position to play.
All they've got is a tree.
They might get the reset.
Not really going to do too much there. The wood splintering at their face, but it is.
Once that smoke's gone, though, they're pretty much dead.
Stalwart needs to hold, and the sprays are good. Top takes a tickle. Crawls behind the vehicle, and Rico Infinity team more than likely going to have to leave their high ground positions. Can Stalwart weather the storm? The circle shifts out a little bit towards them, but there's an off angle as well. Deadeye's guys find the shots that they're looking for, and Stalwart again just going so low. One player for
this is why late game you need to pick a side to fight and kill. If you just try and stay alive at a edge position, you'll just end up losing players.
Newsy takes shots towards Stalwart too, so they're looking for that second place at the moment, but Newsy and God Honey, arguably the best players here on the Infinity to round out this game for them. You know, this is the chance that they needed. Rico Infinity down to 3, and they've lost Anas, who I would say is their best player. So struggling just a little bit, but I do
this
still
is a
think
Nepal game right here.
Strong team, but when you're up against God Tunny and Luzi, anything can happen.
And of course, they do have the numbers advantage right now, as you say, but they have lost Anas in this scenario. The question is how much control.
Yeah, and it's Nuzi and God Tunny, the two best players for sure on the Infinity team.
A lot of angles still remain as a threat.
Get that circle, move towards Rico Infinity team, so teams have to move up towards their side. Top as well in this circle. We've got some huge names towards the end of this game who we're starting to get to know. It's great to see, you know, you want to see these reoccurring names. You want to see these players who are absolute powerhouses, have massive impact, but love.
Star Wars just pushed DE.
Third place, 8 total limits for SDE, so
it would have been a hard push though, because Infinity would be shooting at Stalwarts also.
Certainly have done a lot of work here. Deadeye's guys, I mean, Love alone has just really played spoiler to them on this push. There are about 3 of them behind that tree, and I think most of those points went over Deadeye's guys. Infinity, they move forwards. Rico Infinity team got the full information as to where they pushed. You see those nades continue to just prove bothersome, but the nades out towards Love also coming through from Infinity.
Surely they've heard those shots coming that way. They've been ringing in their ears, popping their eardrums, and now the Infinity wants to put an end to it by taking the life of Love. See if they can make it happen, but right now most teams just edging their way forward. That buggy is going to be really, really useful. Both of the Infinity have vehicles available towards them.
Infinity might be out here.
This is disaster for the Infinity.
God Tunny with a nade right on his face as well. Takes a little bit of damage, but stays alive. That one's a little bit too short. Allowing for potential for the heal. And in comes Love. Looking to play spoiler to 2 teams on the flank. And it's good. It's going to come from Rico Infinity team, but Deadeye's guys ladder up into 2nd place. I think it would be a little bit too much to
Love.
Starts out well. SK Ton goes down.
Nice. I like that.
As well, not taking any damage. Has quite a few meds, but the nade is on point. It's a little bit long. Brings him down to half HP there, but swings out wide. Spray into the grass. Maybe a little bit too big for your boots there, I'm afraid, but the first aid starts off.
Rico kind of have the zone.
Time of it this game. That's all the same for Love and
That's a pretty good game for Infinity,
though. Battlefield versus Rico Infinity team. See if they can get anything done. The smokes are being dropped down by Rico Infinity now. 1v2, definitely a doable experience for Love, but not an experience that I would want to go through personally.
And Rico Infinity team have control of the circle. They know exactly where Love is, suppressing that ridge line.
Love, sir.
It's dangerous if you aren't able to get these refrags, and especially playing behind that smoke, you won't have the sight lines. Prestigia.
I think it's actually good for Prestigo to drop that smoke because it means he can play viably standing up, which is going to give him a better angle looking down towards Love. As he crests this hill, it's going to be awkward. Nade comes over the top, he can't take damage from it. That's the main thing.
He managed to avoid. Just blue snakes in the grass
I think he's
going
to get spotted.
Oh! You know he's there. He's dropped the backpack. Knows there's a player on the side of the smoke. But as soon as he takes a shot, he's going down here to the off angle.
Oh, he sees him.
Oh, it's been spotted.
Yep.
There's no way he survives that. Okay, Rico Infinity team take down
nice
the
try.
snake
Nice
in the
try.
glass and claim themselves the chicken dinner from the northern side of the circle. It's Rico Infinity team.
Still Love. Great game for Deadeye guys there. You got to believe in the Deadeyes, as they would say, with that.
To the top.
So what should my analysis video be here? I think
not gonna go down to the nade and even might get
with those east side. Stay safe.
I can make a video on how different teams could have won.
Who made that rotate with the 48 alive? If you're just 2 guys here and Stalwart is just ahead of you, it's a bit rough. They've got.
Infinity could have won the game if they just took out Deadeyes and controlled this whole southern area, right? They have control of like all of this. They tried. The camera changed, so we don't know what happened. But Infinity tried to take this position and this position as well. And then Stalwart also could have won if they. It would have been a little bit harder though. Like, see, Tunny tries to take this position, but this is actually better. It's better that they don't take this position first, because you see what happens to the team that takes this position first. Oh, that grenade was actually from STE. Yeah, that grenade popped in from STE.
Turn a tail there. 2 players up to the wall, and attacker goes down to a nade. A massive crash coming through from Nick the Galaxy is in the shed. 1 player stands tall. Lord looking to try and take care of it, but Bamboo with a death nade is good. Looking for it and looking for more as well. Nick the Galaxy think twice
A lot of those nades are from STE.
about it. Not going to go down to the nade and even might get this red.
So you see how STE can nade this position pretty easily. This is what STE should have done on the zone shift in. Instead of finding a place to just stay alive. You saw they just got shot by multiple angles. But at the same time, this is when we see right here, Team Infinity. This is very smart. I really like this. I thought they would take out these players at the shack, but maybe STE started picking up too much and it made it too difficult.
They saddle on up to the fight, and they're going to be the ones to take down Tongjabao. It was well fought, but not to happen.
A great nade from Bamboo.
6 down Tongjabao. It was well fought, but not to happen. To the fight, and they're going to be the res. But in comes another team. It's the Deadeyes guys as they saddle on up to the fight, and they're going to be the ones to take down Tongjabao. It was well fought, but not to happen.
Okay, and then let's see. So on top, I think on top was trying to apply some pressure. Like the teammates were telling him we're getting like super pressured and naded. So maybe on top, try to see if there was a position he could take to relieve the pressure, which I like, instead of just grouping up with the team. But he drove over here to saw that, like, yeah, it's not possible. And then also God Tunny over here, all right, he's trying to find an angle to maybe take out that team.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great nade from Bamboo, but again, that rotate just did not... It does tick fairly hard. Then our guys take the it happen. You are going to come into the circle looking a little bit... It's tick fairly hard.
And
then our
let's
guys take the
see.
shack. It's not great. It's not the greatest. But
And all the teams on North, you know, just have to fight their way in. It gets very messy.
Like, adds a little bit. The exact for the map.
Struggling, MS Choburi maybe looking to put as well as on the center.
All over the map.
So I don't know how Mela died. Mela probably died somewhere around here. They were doing 2-2 split.
God, what a bloody hillside that's going to be on to push up towards Nova. It's all popping off now. Infinities, they had 1 play.
And you see, because they didn't take out Deadeyes, they now have STE and Deadeyes with sightlines on them.
They go down there. Mela flushed out as well. Well, they're taking shots time and time again.
Surprised against, and they tend to try.
Team guard out. Have unfortunately not for much.
Clear out. So slight issue now going for both these teams where Rambo's already in the circle, but he goes down.
So hold on, let me
is
see.
from
Infinity just got a knock on
against both
Deadeyes
these
here
teams where Rambo's already in the circle, but he goes
in
down.
the kill feed.
Slight
Okay, so Infinity. Okay, so Deadeyes tried to send a scout player in. That player got knocked and finished. Somebody knocked STE.
issue now going forward.
God, Tunny got knocked here. I think this stopped the potential push to finish Deadeyes. So Tunny getting knocked slows things down.
Which is not really coming through.
But like with these smokes, like I think Stalwart's probably made the biggest mistake here. Stalwart could have used these smokes, in my opinion, and climb out over the top with grenades and whatnot. Also, they need to make sure they smoke off their other side. They need to smoke off this side. Just like 3 smokes would be good. You know, smoke off this side so other teams coming in don't shoot at them. Take out this team. And then from here, they could play inside to this position. But instead, you see here, Stalwarts.
Guys who had that shack.
Okay, I like that. Pika stops a little bit short. So let's look a little bit more in depth here. Pika stops a little bit short on the hilltop. So Deadeyes is here. STE will just have green. So Pika stops here next to the hill. right there to do some scouting.
Trying to play this edge.
Stalwart has 4 alive, so they have a lot of manpower to work with to take a fight.
But they're only 2. Up.
And teams on the north are still busy fighting each other, so Stalwarts don't even have that much pressure on them yet.
Can't find the second.
Okay, so here we see Stalwart clean them up. They see the smoke path. Pika sees it. They should really try and take out this team. Then they have full control on the southeastern side of the circle. Zone is closing pretty slow too. Also, what they could have done here is, like, this area is in zone. It's where the Deadeyes guy ended up playing. They should, yeah, Stalwart should have just used some smokes and looked to take this team out.
But Stalwart just spraying into this smoke, forcing them to hit the deck.
I mean, Deadeye guys didn't have the greatest position overall towards that shack, but they were closer to the circle.
God Tunney gets a knock on Deadeyes, and then the camera switches.
For a long time, they take shots backwards and forwards, but with the man advantage, it's still...
Action finishes off their northern side. So Stalwart's doing a good job of still, like, keeping up pressure on the north. So everything Stalwart's doing is really good right here. They have a player focusing the south. They have a player gatekeeping the north. They have 4 players alive.
What currently happened there, so they can...
And this is a little readjustment mistake right here. This player, he needed to leave this position earlier.
But with the man advantage that Stalwart currently have now, they're looking much stronger, moving out towards the northern side, knowing there's a lot of chaos over towards there, so they can potentially move through. But Genesis Dogma, now they need to hold back.
He couldn't do anything there, but he could have changed his position way earlier.
And getting flushed out as well. A nade being cooked by Satar, but needs to be a little bit careful there. Stops the players pushing into the building with the nade dropped down, but isolated to the top floor, has to hop out.
So I think right here was Stalwart's, like, biggest mistake. They just didn't clear this player out, which they should have. And they didn't know where to play exactly. And they all grouped up in one spot. I think it's something you can learn from the Chinese teams is, I don't have a video example, but, like, actually I do have an example. It was one of the games from yesterday, or maybe the very first day of Nova. Remember the shooting range circle? Nova had... Okay, and Chinese teams are not doing very good right now, but certain strategies that Chinese teams do, obviously, are better. So, let me see if I can find that shooting range game on Erangel. It's not this one. Maybe it was on day 1. I think it was day 1. Let's go look at day 1. Yeah, it was day 1. Day 1 Erangel. I forgot which game it was. Oh yeah, it was this game. Is there the Nova POV on YouTube recorded for this? Because I remember I watched Nova POV.
I don't mind that from the last player, Enigma Galaxy. Is
the Nova POV made it very easy to see.
Logan has only...
I don't think they really caught it here, though.
See how we
on in the way they're being put on.
Yeah, the one where Paraboy survives alone. Let's see, Nova, Paraboy. Did he have their POV? No. Okay, not just channel. It's NV like dot Paraboy. Chiffon's channel has it. So what am I looking? I'm looking for day 1, right? Okay.
Goodbye. Random calls and offers. Hello, built-in spam blocker. Now I can't soak up the sun in peace. Hello, Google Fi. A phone plan that can.
Oh, his power died that day, though. Yeah, his power died before it got to that point. Yeah, it was this game. This shooting range circle. Yeah. NV Paraboy. Oh, okay, here we go.
星辰，星辰你来啊！什么意思？摆烂了？啊！来！我来博下，我进点博下，进点博下没有？那你们看全站，实在不行我们可以进靶场了。
So, it's a somewhat similar situation, right? Nova has to go in zone. They don't know exactly where to go. They don't know, but look. King finds a position right here, right? Similar to how Action also finds a position right here that's in zone. You see Action's in zone. So Action has some hard cover in zone. This is a very bad spot though. It's just one tree and they didn't clear out their backside yet. That's another mistake. But you see here, King. Oh, that's my MetaMask wallet. You see right here, King also finds a spot that's in zone, and this spot is actually a lot better cover-wise. It has like a huge rock that they could use for cover. It's actually a lot stronger than just a tree. But you'll see here, Nova doesn't group up as 4 here though. And sure, the situation's a little bit different. The circle's bigger. They'll lose their cars here, so they're not going to all group up here together. But the point I'm trying to make is King is in a very safe spot in the zone, but even then, Nova decides not to just group up there. Nova will spread out and go elsewhere. And overall, this works out better for the Nova team. And then here, Action finds a spot that's in zone. They should always clear this out, but I get it. They ran out of time. They couldn't find the angles. They got shot at by... Well, they actually weren't even getting shot at by that team because there's 2 teams here fighting right now. GD, Gids, and, you know, it's just Infinity on this side, which is why I was saying they could use smokes. But there's like, you know, multiple trees, multiple different spots. You know, just use your cars, use your smokes.
There as we hop on board with the southeastern fight as well as that crash happens over on the northern side, but we're back with it, and us goes down. And a nice
Let me see. Maybe Pika did try and play in a different position. Okay, so Pika tried to play in a different position, got knocked and thirsted.
Rico Infinity coming back into it, seeing a lot of these names that we weren't too sure about yesterday who had fallen.
Oh, and then Action gets knocked at that tree. That's not really that good to play at.
Off slightly, Rico Infinity team stalwart, but now down to a 3-way fight, I would say, between Stalwart, the Infinity.
So they had a total of 3 vehicles. One of them tried to go here. Got killed by Infinity. I guess the problem was Action got knocked and they wanted to go for the revive. But they definitely could have done a lot better. They had 4 players alive coming into the zone.
As well as Rico Infinity. He looks towards Stalwart, gets some nice spray.
And they stack up, you know, all 3 together in one spot, and they're just not able to do anything from this position.
Down towards the
Splinter will need to hold. More than likely going to have to leave their high ground position.
Okay.
Well, going so low. 1 player for Deadeye's Guides remains.
This is good for Deadeye, guys. I mean, this would be a nice ending for them.
Yeah. I think the main problem was just like they didn't clear out Deadeyes. Because if they cleared out Deadeyes, they could use the whole entire backside of this circle as options.
On board with the
Like right here.
fight as well as that. Careful there. Is the Molotov?
If they clear out Deadeyes, they can maybe use these hay bales. There's like this little ridge. They can even stop at this shack to throw some smokes to then go in. Just a lot more options, but they didn't clear out Deadeyes. That's about that. Like, that's probably the best analysis I could do. This one isn't as good as the other days. I think the main lesson, though, is when you have 4 players alive, it's fine to lose some players to find out what your options are. The very first thing you should do with 4 players alive is to look to take a fight somewhere to clear out the side of a circle. The second thing is don't group up together all in one spot, right? Because like Nova here, Jimmy has a very good spot, or King, not Jimmy. King has his position here that's in zone, that's safe. But Nova will go split up and spread out still, which overall works out way better for them. Yeah.
Onto them by the like.
All right, let's see.
Lots of league play, but yeah, we'll see.
Who will stand
We got like 5 minutes.
victorious in the end?
Reading chat now. I also think Infinity could have done a 2-2. Like if Infinity managed, it would have been hard though. That would be much more difficult. I was thinking like, what if Infinity took out Deadeyes earlier at that shack and then they had a 2-2. 2 at that dip, 2 at that shack. That would have been pretty insane to see. But I don't think that's really realistic, because that is just way too difficult in the type of situation they were in. And Infinity only had 3 players because one of them got knocked and thirsted. And most of my analysis, by the way, is if a team were to do things perfectly. That's the thing. The problem with a lot of like my analysis is if you don't do it correctly, you'll die. So a lot of teams will just feel more comfortable doing what they feel is safer and less risky. But that a lot of the times just leads to them dying, but just they die a little bit later, but they still die. In your opinion, based on my experience, which job is easier, to cast or to do analysis? Huh. That's a good question. I don't know. Jonathan got MVP again? Damn.
gimana kalau lu tahu lu ngebuat kesalahan terus bikin mood tim jadi agak down ya.
Chinese teams are everybody's playing online.
Pastinya kesal sama diri sendiri juga sih.
Nobody's playing offline. Wait, you can't play offline with some teams playing online. That doesn't make any sense.
Fazia parte da Loops, time brasileiro também de PUBGMOBILE.
I think casting is harder though. Like to be a really good caster versus a really good analyst. I think analyst is a little bit easier because you could kind of prepare what you want to say. But casting, it's a lot of stuff done on the spot. I feel like to be a really good caster is harder than to be a really good analyst.
Player semua tim pasti mau yang terbaik dan juara itu cuma satu, yaitu juara satu.
在 PMGC 夺得冠军后，只有2个方向可以走，要么是继续保持胜利，或者是其他队伍击败你。
I feel like if you're not one of those who have participated in these big past events, then you're gonna crack under that pressure. Or maybe, again, you turn out to be a diamond and you turn out to get into PMGC and win the whole thing and make a dynasty of your own.
Korea propaganda. What happened to the focus breakdown? It was just supposed to be a short series. Those videos were like, it took too much. It was very difficult to make, and I don't think it was very effective. I'm not allowed to viewer party or watch any of the Red Bull stuff that's happening in India right now live on stream.
Play around that vision. The damage is good, but eye shots falls. A one and it's stalwart to snap.
He is getting hounded and he needs to somehow stay alive. The UAV comes out. He spots one. One, two. Coming in from AJ. He's going to finish him off as well. Jumper. This nade could be everything. He's going to
beautiful.
Is he going to find anyone? Yes, he is indeed. But shot actually from the sidelines, getting a knock. Now it's all down to attacker. The 1 versus 2. The lone standing member, and they know exactly where he is. And that is going to be Team Secret.
Suppress this line, but more nades continue to go through. Jimmy in danger now. A beautiful nade to the back finds the flush, and King goes low as well. 2 players from Reject swelling over the hillside. 1 goes down, but is traded evenly with Jimmy. King now up to bat, looks for the shots, but not going to find it. Has to go for the weapon swap, and the drop shot is good. Nova taken down by Reject.
Chinese teams seem pretty chill. Do you think they already realize they need to adapt to global version? Oh yeah, for sure.
Pressuring the Infinities.
For sure, they're trying to. They knew that.
Windows unhappy about the Infinities taking the nades as well. The horns are blaring.
I might be doing scrims tomorrow. Let me double check. We're trying to get the Chinese teams to join scrims tomorrow.
That's a miss. Into the smoke, needs the reload, gets it off and moves through the smoke now, trying to play around that vision. The damage is good, but eye shots falls. A one, and it's stalwart to snatch it away from Team Secret right at.
Because tomorrow is Monday, and that's their off day. But I think with Chinese team's performance, they will want to they will decide to join in the practice games. They were supposed to join practice matches last week before PMGC started, but obviously they just finished PEL and they wanted to take some rest, and they probably thought they would do better than they're doing right now, so.
BGMI さらにドーナツ SG も変わる動き。東側のエリアを自分たちのものにします。安全地帯は南側に。
マークには届きませんでしたね、小池さん。
うわー、2投目マークに刺さった。これを皮切りに一気に行くのはリジェクトです。マークを一気に潰しに行きます。デュエロサラ。 さあユナイト3名になった。対してそのこうするかのように時計回りですね。時計回りで回っていくのがユナイト。
なのでこのラピスが落ちると一気にリジェクトも危ないので、ここ耐えなくちゃいけないですね。
ラピス耐えれるか。もう味方が来ている。車両でアタック。
Jonathan got MVP again. Jonathan is definitely the best player in India, for a fact.
Setiap saat, chicken dinner.
This week sucks when you're a BTR and FaZe fan. Yeah, no, both of them didn't get in. Gatok potential MVP in finals. Wait, is Gatok playing? I know Gatok is like their coach and slash player, but is Gatok like a... Does he actually play like as a starter a lot? Bishop retired. Yeah, I think Russell is just gonna focus on a different game. Yeah, I know Gatok is a coach, but someone just said in my chat, Gatok potential MVP in finals.
Action is going to be the man of action right now as Pika comes in from behind and gets a first kill on Mercy. And there you have it, LIT, Lit Esports down to one man.
Gatok plays when Clutch God have exams. Okay.
I saw the first light, the first steps. Now I see much more.
Did I notice DE's rotation? Why do they crash the single shot coming from north of zone?
I see.
Goes down. Gonna be the ones that are really ready to go. It's on those bridges.
Knock in the meantime.
Flush out the final player through side down towards. They can decide to play out. We saw before game around.
Secret kind of pushed into their area as well. Stalwart were a little bit in the one set of compound.
A little bit longer. 8 ahead of you. It's a bit rough.
Oh, from here? Oh yeah, that is a very strange rotation. Well, we didn't really get to see what happened with DX and DE.
Rough. Been looking pretty good. Yes, themselves. I think better in this leaderboard.
Enigma Galaxy want to have their turn down to a nade. A massive crash coming care of it, but Bamboo with a death nade is good.
I think they just went for like one of those like full send rotations because like
you can see it.
This Shack position is good if you could get it and stay alive and claim it. Because this Shack position right here, you could kind of just, you know, play out the rest of the map. Pretty much like what Dead Eyes did with a solo player. They could have done that, or they could have fought and controlled their way in. They could have been the team that was over here and fight and take control of this. Or they could just full send it. They just decided to full send it. It worked out for them. They got second place.
To glory.
Who's going to be next to glory? Well, we're not going to find out today. We still have a little bit of time before we can get into the PMGC Grand
It's just
Finals
different play
in
styles.
January with 9 teams from this East Conference, 6 from the West, and 1 invited team from India.
Some teams would decide to use their 4 players and control that hill. Some teams just, you know, do a more full send rotation into a center position. Both styles have really good teams in it. Like Ghost Gaming is a team that doesn't really fight on the edge and
lead
control the
pack.
edge,
Usain
they
Bolt
just
in the 100 meter
focus more
sprint,
on late game
beating Usain
rotations.
Bolt and speed.
Like
Maxman,
they would
we're
probably
going
do the
into
same
Miramar
thing,
next.
kind of.
I want to get a prediction out of you really quickly of who you think
And
is
Ghost
take this
Gaming is
one, or
doing really
maybe
well.
not a prediction who's going to win, but what
And then
do
you have
expect
teams
to
that
see?
always stay on the edge, like A7, right? And they
We're gonna
just
have
fight and
hardships.
control the
I think we have
edge.
a bunch of those already. So
That's a cop-out prediction.
Wow.
No, I mean, if I have to do a prediction, I mean, we still got the big teams we can talk about. I mentioned 4 Rivals. You can talk about Reject, right? I want to still see the comeback now on this final day of the first Super Weekend for some of the teams at the bottom, and one of the teams that we haven't talked too much about because they've kind of been invisible this first Super Weekend is Cryptics, and they actually got pretty close to the late game yesterday's Miramar game. So if they can try and catch up a little bit, potentially even overtake Nemo Galaxy, overtake MS Chonburi, and even maybe Genesis Dogma, this might be the map for them to make that happen. So I want to see something from Cryptics because they have some good macro, but where they struggle is fights, and Miramar might be a map where they're able to actually make it somewhat work in their favor.
Yeah, and Colaris, I feel like if you are Cryptics here, I mean, you've kind of got nothing to lose to try to change things up. I feel like a lot of the teams actually towards the bottom of the table, like, you don't really get punished for trying to mix things up and figure out, like, how you can play against these teams, because clearly what they've been doing so far isn't working too well.
No, definitely. I think you need to take a lesson from some of the other teams in the lobby here, that throughout this week, we've seen adaptability to some of these circle tendencies that have come along. If you're looking at Team Secret, Max already explained it in a previous segment. The wide wrap is an answer to what we're seeing with these hard shifts. Likewise, TJB, an answer to their hard shift woes was going south into Military Island and coming up through that way to avoid the barrier of teams that are coming up against you. And it doesn't, those lessons don't exist only on Erangel. They can exist here on Miramar as well. And just to answer what you asked Max in terms of what you think is going to be happening on Miramar, Infinity have got second in 2 Miramars so far here in the Super Weekend, in both of them. And there's only been 2 Miramars. I want an Infinity win after those 2 second places here, because they've looked great on Miramar so far.
I thought you were going to say you're hoping for a second place again to see
No.
consistency, but you know what?
Actually, yes,
That's
I
fair.
agree. 3 seconds.
I would have third
place. They've had 3 second place finishes, a first place, and a 4th place so far within our. Actually, well, I guess they've had 4 second place finishes from the last match as well. They are really showing some consistency when it comes to getting. Sorry, it's 3rd place, getting like really good results. Definitely a lot better than the other teams out there. But you know what I want to see? I want to see DRS win. I want to see Nepal come out on top for once. I mean, 3 second place finishes in a row. Now, I'm not going to judge their previous Miramar, where they finished, I believe it was 10th place with 1 elimination. But you know what? I want to see them finally get that win under their belt. I feel like for them, and for 4 Rivals, Max Band, it's important to show to yourselves and to your fans that you can close out a match.
I appreciate trying to cater to me, saying 4 Rivals. I appreciate it, Jason. But yeah, we want to see these teams actually prove to us that they can not only get to the late game. I mean, we had 3 second places in a row from DRS, but I want to see especially kills coming out from DRS because they get to that late game sometimes, but they don't always get those big.
My chat, to be honest, ZooTay's chat is the best chat I ever saw.
Oh yeah, awesome. They could potentially make it into top.
My chat's usually pretty positive. We always get some people that argue, though, and it happens. I think that it's impossible to be 100% free of hate.
I feel like that's just kind of a testament to
but my mods do a really good job, and most of my viewers in the chat are pretty chill.
The match is ready to go. I believe we're going to be hopping into Miramar in just a second, and we have 2 handsome gentlemen, as ever, to bring you all that action. It's John Allen and Blank yet again. No, it's not you, Colaris. It's them too. Oh, sad.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jason. I don't know where those handsome gentlemen went, but it's me and Blank here now to cover this Miramar game. It's me now.
Into the action fairly soon. The playing path pretty central on this map, Blank.
Yeah, very central indeed. You know, not too many alterations from the norm here. Most teams get to where they want to go. Xavier now dropping nice and early down towards Impala. Genesis Dogma. Goodness me. I think the Xavier probably well miffed off with Genesis.
Not my analysis last night. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Of their Miramar so far. But
what's with the wait
Kalaris,
between
you know,
games?
I don't often
It's always
disagree
like
with Kalaris,
this.
and I'm not going to disagree with him here. You know, the Infinity.
It's not like
they
PEL.
can
PEL just
definitely
has
go
a
for
much
chicken
faster
dinner. I would
production,
say
but
go off the back of
PEL's
that
like
game as well.
PEL's
They've got
production
20
is much
boys,
faster
they're warmed up,
because
they're ready to go, they've been in the gym,
they
they've had
just
their
stream
10-minute
only
walk
to their
break
region.
before slamming those weights,
Whereas
and now it's time
PMGC,
to drop
you
into
have
Miramar.
one production
I too know what
that
you do
streams
in the
to
gym.
different other
Infinity
groups
gonna
of languages, of other like offices, so to say. And it's just there's a lot more that goes into a global finals production, so it's definitely slower.
up north, and so they are going to go
For example, when I'm doing analyst, it's me, the English team, and a group of staff talking to us. But there's also like 5 other languages and 5 other groups of teams that are also getting the production feed and setting things up. And so it's just like it's a lot more work, so to say. So that's why I think there's longer wait times in between games.
I don't know, man. I feel like that's a dead inside.
Do you think Nova are
right
trying
now.
out QC
It's like,
early as
it's
they
got the
figure
face
other
I
stuff
make
out
when,
and then
you
bring
know, I've
King
made a
back?
bad play
I
or
don't know.
a bad point. I'm like, oh.
Is there a difference between playing LAN and online?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, for
You know,
sure.
the
Like
trapped
it's,
outside and it's meowing
the ping is better
at the door.
on LAN.
But I always let it back in again.
Some people get more nervous on LAN. Some people play better on LAN because they feel more excited.
Cryptics will have to usher themselves a win here on this map, but so far Cryptics.
Yeah, and I think you can say Chinese teams do better on LAN simply because they're one of the few regions that always compete in a LAN setting, so they're just more used to it.
They've grabbed themselves some more points on the board, 46 now, so a little bit better than last game, but they're moving up, they're moving on up. The Infinity.
Can I view a party without their audio?
At the
No.
moment, you know, hanging around.
I don't think I could find a stream.
They have a pretty decent
does that.
rotational path coming into this one. Past Picard up towards Monte Nuevo. Very clean, very easy. You know, you're not having to crunch.
Why don't I wear my glasses when doing an analyst? Other than the fact that people think I look tired all the time, I just feel like I look better without glasses when I'm wearing when I have my hair done and stuff.
At the moment.
But maybe I might just wear glasses today because people think I look tired.
Getting some scouting done nice and early. Let's see what they can do.
Infinity just spreading out. Not one to.
The reason why I look tired is because I have to stand further back when I'm doing the stuff from the camera. And I'm Asian, so I just have smaller eyes naturally. So it just looks like I look sleepy because my eyes are just naturally smaller.
Pretty far away already. I think 628 have one of their players, 33Z, close to Stalwart. Maybe that could prove to be troublesome.
If you feel pressured, just close your eyes and play.
But right now, Stalwart just looking up towards.
Godel didn't win by 3 points. How many games was the tournament? How many matches total was the tournament, and who did get first place?
Down from afar with his binoculars.
I look better with this hair.
Team, and it's the team to definitely keep tabs up. They are extremely strong.
So that is the reason why the gap is so long. Thanks to ZooTay for the explanation. Yeah.
So they should be further up on the leaderboard.
So like VSPN is doing the initial feed, and then that feed gets passed down to the different offices or different groups of teams with different languages, and then those teams then add on different things to that feed, and then that feed gets passed on to the casters and the analysts, and then it's streamed down to the various different channels.
Don't you say that about my team. Don't you say that about me.
So yeah, so there's just a lot of moving parts. So they want to have a bigger delay so they can make sure every language, all the different channels are ready when the game starts and stuff.
Danger that he does not know.
What type of mistakes are Na'Vi making? They're making every mistake possible. They're just playing really bad.
Mafia Ninja down there. I think he should be fine, but you do see Ralph up top. He's very split off of his team. Again, another big scouting
Enigma
point
won?
I think this
Who's
is really,
on
really good
who's on that
from
team?
a lot of teams at the moment is that they are definitely
Any
getting their
players that I
scouting
might
done nice
know?
and early. I think we don't see that enough too many times. I think that was another level 3 vest there, which will be very nicely donated to another
It's
player
my eye bags that make me look tired.
Reject.
The thing is, I'll have eye bags
very, very south side of the map.
all the time. I even
They'll
have
be
eye bags
hanging
right
around there
now.
for the
I'm
time
pretty
being.
sure. Hold on.
I imagine it won't be until a
Maybe you
little
guys
while
can't
longer
notice
they
as
move
much because I have
towards the map.
glasses
Maybe
on, so
second
I should
circle
just wear
shift will be the best
glasses.
for them. They're waiting for teams to move on
I'm
out,
trying to look at my.
and then they can head on in.
Yeah, see, I have eye bags right now,
Teams around
but no
Hudson are
one's
getting a
saying
little bit closer
that I look
to each
tired
other.
or whatever.
Rivals right now.
It's just more noticeable when I stand further away.
There's no
Like
start to
here,
punch into the middle as
and then
well.
my eyes
so
look
it's getting
smaller.
more busy right in the middle of this circle, Blank.
So
It is, yeah. Now,
that's why I
one
look
thing
tired.
to take note, considering you said you got that golden number of 200. So you got the 200 there. Looking at that one, the Infinity.
I should invest in some eye cream though. That is I will take your criticism
at the moment, but they certainly have
as
control over
positive.
over in this
So
lobby. And
maybe
the
I'll
thing
buy
is,
some
though,
eye
we
cream
do still have 4 more
at the end
matches
of
to
the
go,
day
including
today.
This one today, final day of the first Super Weekend, which has been fantastic to watch. It's been very entertaining.
Is it true mobile gaming is not
But in
much
that moment,
popular
you
in
know,
USA?
there is
Yes,
a
mobile gaming is
definite
not very
capability,
popular in the US.
Considering we have high hopes for them here on Miramar, that they can hit up towards that top number.
Okay, I'll make the face cam a little
and
smaller.
Easily, I reckon they could hit 180 today if they continue that kind of performance we've seen from them. They've been extremely consistent. I would say that like they're a team.
Right,
like
so
Stalwart.
who's on
They
this
have very,
Enigma
very good
team?
aggression. They've got some great fraggers on the team. I think Stalwart has just had a little less of that consistency that we're seeing from the Infinity. And you know, we say that all the time, and we're going to continue saying it. And there's nothing you can do.
Oh, Skylight's got 69
But
points.
It is important.
It was a 1-day 6-match. Oh, that doesn't even. Psh, okay, it's 6-day tournament.
Pretty dominant. I mean, Infinity at the moment
whatever.
is sat, I think, over
A 6-day tournament.
On their 11 games.
Or not 6 days, a 6-match finals.
They should be able to break over that 180 mark.
Yeah, okay, well,
towards the end of the day,
I
fairly
mean,
easily. But the question is, can
it's
they
great
keep
for the
that up
teams
for 4
that played
games
well,
straight, right?
but
is it just sort of some of the flukes coming in?
6-match finals is like.
But by all accounts, it
You
feels
can't
like
judge performance based on 6
they have
games.
A second place, a second place, a fourth place, another.
But I will say, godlike though, in various tournaments with different amount of days, different amount of matches, have overall, I think, come in first the most, right? I think godlike, from those past performances, you could say they're a really good team. But this 6-match finals,
That's
like,
fine though, as long as you're able to do it. This is
don't read
similar
too much
approach
into
that
it.
PUBGMOBILE took as well, which is like get sent.
I mean, for me, it's easy to say, but I know fans in India, like, it's like life or death. They're probably like, people might be saying like, godlike is falling off, godlike's not good anymore.
Break game, big game. That's exactly. I'm happy.
They're gonna be
with
like,
it.
underdog team is better than godlike. Or Jonathan's wash. I don't know. Indian fans are crazy like that sometimes.
Now and again, we need to even out those numbers. PMGC taking shots
If it's
over
only
towards
6
Xavier
games, like,
at the moment,
it's a whatever tournament, in my opinion. But for the teams that did well, still congrats to them. You know, if you played well, you played well. If you played bad, like, it's a 6-game tournament. It's a 6-game final, so don't stress too much about that. And for the fans, like, don't make it that big of a deal because it's only 6-game finals.
Just seen our first knock here. It's taking a little while.
Well, hang on a minute.
PMGC.pl point systems will teams be more aggressive in early zone? They wouldn't necessarily be more aggressive, but they would feel less punished to take fights early.
From league play, again, another team that we would not have expected to be down this far.
It's not like teams will just start fighting to fight, but they won't, you know. Oh.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh.
How has Ralph not hit those? I mean, I feel like you have to hit those. I feel like you have to hit those sitting ducks.
Yeah, he literally was just crouched there. Ralph did a very similar thing to what was going on the other side of the map, and I think this is the great.
Should have just used your M4, bro, if you don't know how to use a mini.
Galaxy again in 16th place, not something we expected.
Welcome back, Alice.
The league play, like you said, they were hot.
Yeah, I know godlike was only 3 points behind the champions.
And they were making some great sense coming through into this game. You know, I'm just a little bit frustrated that, you know, we've not been served that dinner as of yet from Enigma Galaxy. They've laid the table.
Oh, they were a 3-man squad? They were a 3-man squad for all 6 matches? And they got first place? I just read somebody just said...
This format had played 2 super weekends. And if you're looking at around 150 to 190 is that sort of bubble. You're looking.
Jonathan still got the MVP though.
Okay. 80, well, even up towards 95 points to be able to get in 1 week for these teams. So there is still chances. But
I'm gonna be in Sparky's YouTube video. Why? Is it because I'm talking about India again?
A little bit further up, but it's a difficult spot for them. They definitely need to do more than we're seeing from them right now if they want to qualify.
3-man squad on the first day and still qualify for the finals. Oh, okay. They were 3-man squad on the first day to qualify for the finals.
It's a struggle bus right now, and it's about putting up those numbers. I think Deadeye guys, they understood the assignment. They were like,
TJB is no longer 16th.
One of our 2 super weekends. If we're struggling so hard to make it into them, let's
TJB is no longer 16th.
10th place with 76 points. You know, it's definitely not what I expected. And I know that's kind of harsh, but to be fair, it's also impressed me, right? I think being able to have a turnaround like that, it's great. I think a lot of those points are definitely down to Turulov because he has been one hell of a player for this team. You know, a lot of times putting the team on his back just a tiny bit. But Miramar is definitely where they struggle, I would say. You know, they get themselves into scenarios where, you know, they've made some decent rotations, and then those rotations grind to a devastating stop there. And then they kind of struggle to find their way out of some awkward scenarios. So I'd hope that doesn't
Indian
happen
news
here in
channel
this game.
incoming
Already
ZooTay.
through to zone 2.
Wait, why? I didn't even really
with
say
only
anything.
Two players, sorry, going down. So it's a bit of a weird one. Next circle pops though on a screen down towards Power Grid Saint Martin. So a lot of those massive hillsides around here, John, to play around. So interesting little ending zone for us.
Certainly is. I mean, there's that main feature of the road on the north side that a lot of teams are going to have to cross. Fortunately, the circle is big enough that there's quite a few crossing positions right now, and there's not too many roads within the circle other than that. So barring a shift up to the north in the next circle, it feels like a fairly decent circle for consistent players coming through.
Yeah, and this is kind of where I wish I could draw on the map for you guys at home, but if you just look over to, well, if you looked over towards the eastern side, down towards Picardo...
It's going to be a very interesting game. I can't even really make out too much from that zone shift.
Basically just rotational area. Not very playable. It's on a massive downslope. Like, you'll have to get up it, but most likely Nova, Deadeye guys, they're going to be holding you out. So it's a bit awkward to play in now, especially down towards Picardo side. So there is a fair little chunk, almost a banana shaped here, that is not the greatest. It's somewhere to go if you have nowhere else to, but it's not going to afford you much opportunities towards that late game. Rico Infinity team, though, holding in Power Grid. Again, I love these teams that hold on the outer edges of Power Grid. Getting stuck inside Power Grid is never the best thing in the world. 33Z, though, hits some crackers across the map, which
I love seeing
into action as he drops
down. Never mind. I was going to say, I love seeing the DMR meta coming into play, and then this guy is just missing a lot of shots.
Just crawling down the hillside. I have no idea how he's done it, but he stayed alive for now, despite being there on the hillside.
Yeah, now the boys are coming in. You got Divine coming around the corner to pick up Sarah, and I think if there's anyone you want to pick up in that situation, if you are a reject, it is Sarah. This guy has incredible pop-off potential for that team.
I think the best DMR users right now is STE. I don't think Infinity really uses DMRs. They just stick to the M4. Oh, Team Secret getting a headshot onto TJB.
Maybe they just aren't willing to. Tongjiabao looking to guard out Team Secret, but at the moment it's not going very well. Bamboo already having fallen.
No, Chinese team playing aggressive on, or I mean, Team Secret playing aggressive onto Chinese team. Oh, they are getting owned.
I'm not sure about that choice there, Attacker. Certainly very, very dangerous, and Team Secret get another knock.
Again, this is the fast-paced Team Secret that we like to see. They've got a lot of angles all around the map.
Yeah, they got one knock back. Han's going to go down to the play zone.
Go extremely low there.
Yeah, Han goes down to play zone.
Okay, so he dies there. That's fine. That's fine. But yeah, interesting play from
TJB getting smacked right now.
Very much backwards on you if you're not careful, but they have a lot of land that they're currently controlling. ID5 down though, so Team Secret only with the 3 players will be going on forward. They have a player in front who's holding them out. Now Team Secret just need to regroup.
Try and get to this next circle as well.
Okay, the circle just shifts center.
in power grid.
Should be a good game for Infinity again.
In their position, not having to move.
Also, Nova playing really split right here.
Teams on the north going to have to shift down past this road now.
Nova have
that the
a
teams
very
in this
big
lobby
split.
are currently putting a lot of stock in the northern side. We're talking El Azhar,
DE is also
Coronado,
split.
La Coperia, but the Infinity down towards
I think the
Chibisera,
split
they
is good
usually have
also.
A very smooth path into the circle.
A lot of teams with
One
good
player's
positions
gone a
right
little
now.
bit too wide there. Newsy gets taken down. Not the best of guys to be being removed from your team. So Infinity down to 3 now, but again on Miramar, if you can hold those angles, you can certainly play with 3, and they're right inside the circle.
You can see on the bottom right-hand side of your screen as well, 4 rivals and Stalwart trying to clash between them on the northern side of this circle.
Stalwart's dead, pretty
Fairly
much.
heavy hitting
It's just
fight
top.
right now, but it seems like Stalwart have come off the worst for it. 3 players down, and it's just top. He was able to clutch it out on Miramar before, against so many players moving through, but this time abandoned by the rest of his team, or rather he's abandoning the rest of his team. Knows that it's not worth it to go forwards and try and get these reses.
No, I mean, Peak is certainly going down as well there. 4 rivals just don't show the
What's happening?
Brief opportunity for top to add to that fight, but the off angle doesn't strike
And then
through
chat.
in that situation. Unfortunate stuff, 4 rivals just move away in the buggy. Top not able to do anything about it.
Goes in for round 2. The spray's not quite landing though. 4 rivals going to be moving straight
TJB
past
back in
628
16th
as well.
maybe?
Or over the roadside, trying to get through, and is again just get a sail straight past. Top not quite able to land the shots, but here's where you crash. Here's where it all comes tumbling down, and the 4 rivals lose 2 players who have moved forwards.
Yeah, Yu Yang was able to give a lot of information onto this push, so 628 were very ready. He's towards the backside. There's still some players from 4 rivals coming into the circle. Sunan going to pick up 33Z. You can see down towards your bottom right there. That is Genesis Dogma versus the remaining players of Reject. Molotovs all over the place. Hillside's on fire.
DRS burning down 628. Look at that. No chance. Daoshi in the open. AJ gets the shots that they want. Very, very low. That gets the heal off 33Z as well. But in the meantime,
There's so many fights happening. I don't even know which screen to look at.
He's just been able to pull it off. Genesis Dogma getting eliminated there. Oh no, wait, they still have booms. Just the flush is coming through. But 2 players.
What is happening? This match is absolutely chaos.
Well confused by that situation. It just felt like both teams kind of just went into a full-off.
Should they disable hit markers? I think that'd be cool if they did.
Skill, no real strategy, just basically hold down the fire button and then hope to God that your bullets hit through, hit true. Enigma Galaxy moving to Rico Infinity's position. Again, they're holding on the outside like I'd like to see. Now Rico Infinity's team need to deal with them. There's a really nice ridge side just in front of them that Enigma Galaxy can start to play around. See what they do about it, but they're starting to swing. This is very patient, very well played. You know, they're playing these sight lines to their advantage.
The good news as well is that they're playing with their backs to the blue. They know there's not going to be too many teams behind them. It makes these ridge lines.
Ooh, the circle shifted south. Right on to Infinity.
DRS might have sideswipe sight lines. With a shift down south, they are going to have to move further than this. Enigma Galaxy might just call off this push here.
Nova's going to play in this pocket right here.
Yeah,
There's
you
a
could
nice
just swing
pocket
down,
that's
like
not
you said, on that
taken.
western side and stay out of sight of Rico Infinity team. I think for the Infinity though, a bit of an awkward scenario here with Nova.
Everyone else is just going to have to fight their way in. There's going to be absolutely so many teams are going to die here.
4 onto Cryptix. Not easily done, but done before.
Mela taking a tumble as well. Cryptix doing so much work against the Infinity. I think that's them down to 1 as well. DRS trying to roll past 628. 2 of them are down. Nima on the forefront as well. Picks up these points, picks up these flushes, brings them up to 5 total. And another from the top. Yu Yang to look for the flush onto AJ. Will find it's a retribution found, but only 1 player for 628 remains.
Yeah, DRS is a real force at the moment. Now, there's a unit just moving through the map, and I think DRS has really struck us as a very much improved team here. No longer as of old. I think that, you know, there were some teams that we mentioned on the desk with cannon fodder. I would say more or less DRS were a nuisance, but now they're more than that. They're like a hornet the size of a dog.
That is a scary prospect. I do not enjoy that image that you've just conjured in my mind, Blank. Good shivers all around. Cryptix taking nades from the top. It's Enigma Galaxy to try and contest that. They did skirt around the side after getting a knock.
What's happening now?
Chapo's starting to come back
Why is
as well.
everyone...
Enigma Galaxy
What's happening with
makes a
Norden?
little bit of resistance. The nade's not quite doing too much there. Moving forwards and separating Rico Infinity Team from Cryptics. And that might prove to be difficult for them. Freak does go down, and there's another nade to seal the deal. Enigma Galaxy down to 3. Because the response is not quite as powerful here. Cryptics still on 4.
Enigma Galaxy just trying to make their way around this position. We saw final member of the Infinity going
So many
down
teams still not
towards
at
Nova
end
side.
zone. They still got to fight their way in.
At the moment. Enigma Galaxy need to make
Cryptics
this
has a
fight
nice
work.
spot. They took
They
out
wanna
Infinity.
stay with a chance in the standings. With Hamodi going down now, just Lord. Really have to bring it together. To be Lord of the land here.
Pixels away from seeing Lord as well, but
Oh, and Cryptics got knocked by Rejects.
one with the Grover swaps the weapons, turns it on towards Marshall, but can't quite find the second. 2 players down for Cryptics, but they stay as all 4 alive for now. And Asto has other ideas. Enigma Galaxy, they drew the fight out of Rico Infinity Team, and now 3 players low for Cryptics. But DXavier, again, chiming on in as Rabbit's last standing for the squad.
Prestigo going down there, most likely won't come out again. You know, he was more information gathering prospects for them. Very well played, though, overall, to Rico Infinity Team to third party this fight. They knew that a team had rolled up on them earlier, so they were keeping tabs on that one with the next circle shift as well. They're in a beautiful spot. They do need to get rid of these final remaining members from Cryptic so they can completely control
Your
this
mod
northwest side.
disrespected India. I'm not
With them
Indian.
down to 2 now, it's looking a lot better for them. Deadeye guys, once again,
I think
towards
Norden
these final
E said
circles.
something
They're around
harsh.
the edge, though, and removing themselves from this scenario is going to be very, very difficult. It's going to take precision to get themselves out of this one.
On top, very low, needs to get some healing done before the blue zone pushes him in, because it's just about to start closing. And right up top, it's not like...
By the way, like, so Nova lost a few players. They could have kept all alive, but the idea behind Nova playing split is like, because they lost that one player that was playing split further back, it forces the teams behind them to slow down enough to not be a bigger threat towards the later game, right? Imagine like if Nova was 4 people in one spot and there was another 4-man team coming to push them. That 4-man team might have the advantage because Nova's position in the next circle isn't that strong. So sometimes, and it's not just Chinese teams, many global teams do this too. They'll leave 1 or 2 players further back to take that fight, to weaken them or slow them down, so that by the time the zone closes, they don't have a full team that could push and take out Nova later on.
Maybe there's a little bit of an opening. Deadeye's guys pushing forwards, and Jimmy is on the bead. Mes Chonburi with 3 players alive. One of them has been knocked. Deadeye's guys fought closely with it. Players laying down, trying to sneak their way through as we're down to 16 from 8.
Jimmy now with the last man standing buff on board with him. There's always very, very strong Rico Infinity Team. Synchronized action as SK Ton and Nanas get back up to 70% HP apiece. But Jimmy just trying to move around these hillsides, get back up to full HP here. 11 alive, 6 teams. You know, there's a big opportunity to ladder up here. Divine from Reject will go down, now down to just 5. MSC, Chonburi. These guys are looking really good here on Miramar, and I think they've been having a better day today.
Rico Infinity Team dispatch of Jimmy. Nova will leave the battle for now. 4 teams remain. MS Chonburi. Oh, their forward player down. Booms from Genesis Dogma. Actually in, not a terrible
Sorry guys, I'm having to look at the chat
play around. He has a vehicle in front of them, so it's
to
difficult
see
for
what
Chonburi
is
to
happening.
know he is here. And with so many players going down low, now is a great chance for Genesis Dogma's Booms to strike out, potentially get towards that 3rd place spot. Deadeye guys, once again, that was an almost unwinnable situation for them, but they've managed to extract themselves bit by bit here and get into the circle. So the next one shifts across, and Rico Infinity Team might be on for the back-to-back.
Okay, so Norden said, I prefer a holiday in Thailand or something over India. Too many people there. Is that the comment?
Players alive. You have to wonder how this firing line can be dispatched off, but that's a good start.
Was that the comment that got everyone upset?
Towards the ridgeline as well, and Anas now taking a little bit of flack, and all of a sudden it's gone topsy-turvy. 2 players from Deadeye's guys moving in like a bulldozer from the east.
Me and Rico Infinity, all I can do here is just attempt not to be crushed under the power of Fragboy.
All right, I'll talk about it after this match is over.
Low on HP, hasn't healed as of yet. SK Tundra's trying to play around these edges. Now finally, Fragboy's going to heal up after they've gathered so much ground. And goodness me, Rico Infinity team taking the full force of the Deadeyes.
They are moving straight on through an ass low, and Boom's now in the fight of his life for this circle, trying to move with MS Jumburi, but unfortunately there's sharks in the water. Not going to work out for them this time though, as Booms gets the best end of the fight. Booms suppressed again though, as the lines look good. SK Ton getting knocked in the meantime.
DE has one knocked,
down to one as SK Ton
but DE have the zone.
Lone soldier, lone ranger,
it's a 1v1?
They're down to one.
Is it a 1v1?
It's
a 1v1v1?
And Booms is still in the fight. It's a 1v1v1 flank, and out in the open ground, Booms gets cut down in his prime, and Love now up top.
Oh, this is DE's win.
To seal the deal. The nade could be good here. Pop standing between him and the chicken.
Oh no, don't go for the revive.
For the fight, but the
all right, the nade works.
Love to stand tall. The man, the myth, the legend.
He should, if he didn't get that kill with the nade, he should stay up there and let the player crawl to him. If he didn't get that grenade kill, he should not leave the top of that ridge, because he has such a big advantage staying up there.
This time he was not about to let that chicken dinner get away.
How did he even win that game? Like, hold on. Like, what happened? There was so much going on in this match. Okay, DE controlled the mountaintop. They had that big split earlier in the game.
Looking at these teams. And this is kind of where I wish I could draw
DE controlled that mountaintop right there.
Cool. The flush is real strat in front of their advantage teams might have.
So I think DE just came in behind MS on this circle shift, and obviously all the teams in the north are gonna fight each other coming in.
Sideswipe side.
Yeah, all the team in the north are just having to fight each other and dying.
Lord of
on top, very low, needs to get some healing done before the blue zone pushes him in, because it's just walks now top. There's no way you get those reses. There has to be no way that you can find that. Reses potential though. Sheep on the front line.
So they lose 2 players right here.
To move around. They are just 2 with QCL as well as your boy. Actually hits him. Jasper goes down. Support his homie. Looking towards the players. Rico Infinity team gets 2. And now
ground in front.
This was a very tough one for DE. DE got knocked again right here.
Certainly not. Jimmy is on.
How did they end up on the top of the mountain? I must have been distracted with the chat. So they moved north. They somehow got to the north side of the circle, but there's like no cover. They somehow went from here with like no cover, and they crossed up to the north side.
Trying to sneak their way
on board with synchronized action as S trying to keep alive. 6 down to just 5. MSC chum today.
Rico Infinity team dispatch.
And then Jimmy died.
I think they've been having.
Jimmy got shot by this guy.
A better day today.
Rico Infinity team dispatch of Jimmy.
And then Deadeyes got knocked again here.
Booms from Genesis Dogma. Actually in not a terrible spot here.
Yeah, no, he has the divot to play around. He has.
Can't this R8 Rico Infinity guy see these 2 players?
The vehicle in front of them, so it's chance for Genesis Dogma.
Oh no, there's like a. Oh, there's a very small ridge right here.
Booms to strike almost unwinnable situation. Circle.
3 players alive.
Oh, and then D come in from behind.
7 kills as well so far.
And then they take the high ground.
3 players alive. You have to wonder how this firing line can be dispatched off.
That knock right there is what won D the game by Fragboy.
That's a good start.
What?
Goes low and he rattles off plenty more towards the
that was the knock that won in the game.
Taking a little bit of flack, and all of a sudden it's gone topsy-turvy. 2 players from Deadeyes, guys, moving in. Like
here is just attempt not to. Genesis Dogman takes a few shots. Fragboy low on HP, hasn't healed as of yet. SK Tundra's trying to play around these edges. Now finally, Fragboy's going to heal up after they've gathered so much ground. And goodness me, Rico Infinity team taking the full force of the Deadeyes.
Yep.
They are moving.
And Deadeyes got the advantage over everybody up there.
Deadeyes guys down to 1, and it's Love to stand tall. 3 teams remain, and Bouillon in is good here.
Good
Pop
win for
standing between
Deadeyes.
him and the chicken dinner. Maybe look to
mentioned gained themselves a chicken this Super Weekend, winning out by 1 placement point against Bigatron. They've definitely put themselves on the map, but I think any nerves they had coming into the Super Weekend seem to have disappeared off the bat, Max.
I mean, to say it easily, Jason, they dropped Picardo, which is significantly proven to be the best compound in the entirety of Miramar. That's what I have to say. I mean, it's my favorite position. Away drop there. But it was very easy for them. You have a very easy entry point on a very central circle, so you can pick and choose whichever position you want, and they just went for the culminating point above the rest of the map. They had all the information in the world, and everything that was coming their way would just
GG's to Deadeyes. Good game for them. That was a very hard win.
A little bit more elims from this team, but nonetheless, they're able to get themselves.
That was a really hard win
when,
for
as
them.
you said, Jason, they just barely qualified in the Super Weekend in the first place. Like, they've drastically changed from what we saw at the first few games of this week.
Yeah, and then looking down the line here, I mean, MS Chambur.
Yeah, so I know yesterday
I'm not sure if we're gonna dive into
Norden said something
the fact that Claris, that Booms keeps
that
them alive.
was taken a little bit out of context that made you guys upset.
For a team who's down towards the bottom of the leaderboard right now, these are much needed points.
I read Norden's earlier comment.
Over in that like compound.
It was definitely not meant to be offensive. If you ask me if I would rather go to Japan or India, I'll be honest, I would rather go visit Japan. Simple as that, right? We all have our preferences on where we want to go. So what Norden said today was not offensive. I know yesterday he did say something that could be considered offensive, but I'll give Norden a warning, all right, for yesterday. Today, what he said, you guys just don't like him that much because of what he said the other day, all right? But let's just keep it at that, all right? If Norden says something else that upsets you guys, then maybe some action might need to be taken.
I disagree.
But Norden didn't say anything offensive today.
Talking them up like he did in league play where they really stood out. I think you need to get behind them a little bit more, and that maybe will fix what's going wrong. But speaking of fixing what's going wrong, DRS, I just want to point them out as well. On the front page, we saw 8 eliminations, 1 ranking point. I mean, there's a lot of talk about frag potential, frag power. DRS is one of those teams who the highest elimination game they've had so far was 8, and that was back in, or sorry, no, it was 9 back in round 3 of the Super
Use on S2G.
They finished 3rd place overall.
I think S2G, like, I think S2G from PMGC West, they're really good at like all the different elements needed to be a super strong team. My question is now, like, can they play at this level for like all 3 weeks? Because I feel like this week for S2G, they're just playing at the highest level. But are they always at this high of a level? Is my question.
But I think that for Deadeyes, guys, I think we spoke in the previous segment, right, about like, we would like to see more frags coming their way when they're able to get these placement points on the board. There is something to be said about just playing this style of slightly more passive play, waiting for an opportunity to strike towards the end, trying to keep as many alive, and trying to find your spot. If they don't think that they can, go to...
Oh, yeah, and they're also strong at hot drop fights, too. So
every single occasion, then look for an alternate path. And right now, I feel like that's kind of where Deadeyes guys is right now.
Especially towards the end of that game, I would say, because a lot of teams were already fighting to try and move out of Power Grid. You have Rick Infinity, you had also the side of Nova, you had also Cryptics.
Why Infinity couldn't defend the center circle?
After taking that fight towards the side
it's harder to defend your position than you think.
Spotted out the terrain and knew exactly where the position was going to be to actually secure the win. It was a little bit of a high ground position up northwest, and they just sent Trilov over there.
Being pushed by a team, you're usually at a disadvantage when you're being pushed by a team, unless if you're holding holding like a compound and you could see them pushing you like early on from a distance with cars. But if you're holding just a spot on the map and you're going to be pushed from one side, you're usually at the disadvantage.
Playing against them in their region for quite a long time. So it's really cool to see how, not only how this team has gelled from the 4, but also how they're utilizing the guys that they've brought in from, because I think they have 2.
Do they have the same ping in the West? Every PMGC East and PMGC West, everyone's dealing with different ping. And it's like different for everybody.
See, to be completely honest, a lot of regions stepping up.
It's being played online, right? So some teams will have higher ping than others.
We're seeing Nepal really step up.
There's no way to have the same exact ping for everybody when you're playing online. That's just how it is.
Able to make it into the front page.
I don't know which teams have the worst pings or which teams have the best ping, but everybody's ping is like, like
this is a very
at least 100 plus, I would assume. I don't know exactly, but there isn't a team playing at like 50 ping and then some other teams playing at 180. Everybody's ping should be around 100 to 200, I would say.
Fun fact, 5 of these teams were the bottom side of the league play tables. So there has been big shifts here coming into this super weekend, and we're, on the tail end of it now, and they're really looking good. Some of the teams down towards the bottom, though, who were up at the top of the table, they need to gain more traction, man. There's things that they're falling aside. I mean, Taejong Bao that find themselves in the fights really early on, Max, and somehow just losing out really swiftly into these games. They are better than this.
Yeah, I remember watching PL.
Is Grand Finals a LAN?
And this team is
I still don't know. I still don't know that information.
Early game widespread to just maximize the information.
I hope it is.
The thing is, if you're unsure of where teams drop, how they rotate, you're having a big chance of you losing, even if it's just
100 to 200. Won't the game be laggy? Yes. Like, it's an online tournament played across like multiple different
it can
regions.
get tricky for them. I think that they need to
like, you have people in North America playing against people all the way in Europe, right? There's going to be ping imbalances. It's going to be a thing.
Teams have improved a lot, so some drops have changed, rotation have changed.
Can you read my previous question or message?
Dong Jiabao is a team that with how they play, there's a big risk of losing players very early, and that just hurts them in the long run.
Feel free to call me out here, but I'm going to give you the way I'm looking at this. I think I like how
you reminded me of G25 gaming. I'm not sure what you mean by about G25 gaming.
Never perform super well in league play because you don't want people to keep their eye out for you. You don't want people's attention being brought up like, oh, Dong Jiabao, they're playing really well. Okay, let's look into what they're doing, because it kind of forces you then to change your style a little bit and to also continue to improve even further than you would have to do for a team who you don't expect a lot out of, like maybe Deadeye's guys, because they came through 16 plays. I feel like it's actually a detriment to do exceptionally well in league play, because teams are going to be looking out for you a lot more, looking to rotations more, and look to punish you a lot more.
Maybe. It depends on your style. It really does. It's hard to be like, no! Oh yes. Because the thing is that it is, one, it's the best kind of practice you're ever going to get for a lobby like this, especially if you're anticipating the majority of this 16 to then eventually be in that final, right? You're also analyzing exactly how all the teams.
Yes, I know who Audrey is. All right, like, Fallen. I had no idea what you were talking about on the first day.
Notable tendencies that these teams.
But now I do. All right.
Constantly rotating wide or rotating in the blue. You know that you're more likely to, if you're playing edge on a certain location, you're more likely to run into them and kind of maybe hold them out on certain angles, right? So yeah, there are some of those things.
All right. Okay. Let me just, since there's nothing going on right now, let me address the chat. Let me address everyone in the chat. Okay. All right. So first, I want to say everybody is different in different ways. People handle certain toxicity in different ways. So I just want to say I picked my mods for a reason, but my mods will have different opinions than me, and my mods will say things differently than me. I'm probably going to go ahead and say, out of all the people in the chat, I'm probably a person that's really good with how they say things. Like the way I say things, the words I choose when I say certain things. I'm probably one of the more careful people with wording and stuff, okay? But at the end of the day, what really matters is the intention, right? People get misunderstood all the time. I'm just better with my words to make sure I don't get misunderstood. But even then, I even get misunderstood sometime. And I'm pretty sure you guys, everyone in the chat, there's been times where you've said something to someone and you didn't mean to offend them. Or let's just say everybody's argued with their parents before, right? I'm pretty sure you and your parents have argued before because you guys just didn't communicate effectively. So same thing goes here. Like, people will always be misunderstood. But what really matters is the intention behind our messages. So all my mods, I believe, mean well and they have good intentions. Sometimes maybe what they say might not come off that way. Like earlier, I did see Norden say, Indian fans just need to vent, and I could use the breeze. Norden's obviously, in the very beginning, not meaning to offend anyone, but he got a lot of hate, and so he's a little bit annoyed by you guys in the chat that are offended by him because he didn't mean to offend anyone. And I can't blame Norden for getting annoyed because I've been annoyed by the chat. Everybody in here has been annoyed by someone else at some point in their life, right? So Norden made a little sly comment about Indian fans just want to vent and I could use the breeze. I personally would never say something like that because that's just me kind of like instigating more in the chat. So I wouldn't say something like that, but everybody reacts to things differently, all right? And yes, there are toxic people in the chat. There are people in the chat that's looking to just cause drama, or there is people in the chat that want to just, you know, make others annoyed and cause a scene. So, like, sometimes we all will get baited by it, and sometimes shit happens, okay? Main point is, what is my main point? I don't even know what my main point is. Main point is, like, there's nothing to actually be upset about here, I guess. There's not actually anything here to be really upset about. So even with timing out a bunch of people, I saw that happening earlier. I know that's just my mods trying to, you know, control things. But even the people just complaining, like, it's not even that important or whatever you want to call it. Like, it's just, there's nothing really happening here. There's nothing actually happening here to be upset about. So it's like, just everyone could just chill. If you want to cry a little bit, and I'm sure you'll get over it within the next minute. If you see people in the chat complaining or trying to start things, just ignore it. Like, don't even time them out. At this point, timing them out just makes them feel like they're actually saying something that's important enough to be timed out about. But the people crying in the chat aren't even really crying about anything important either. It's just like just let everyone be. There's no need to time anyone out anymore. All right. We're going to just reserve timing out for like racist comments that are just purely hating for the sake of hating on somebody. Right? It's just like, well, like, just, yeah, we'll just only time that out. But people that are crying in the chat about like whatever they might be crying about, is just like, just let them be, let them vent it out, and then it'll pass. because it's honestly not that big of a deal, so it'll just pass over. If there was actually something happening in the chat, like something really bad and toxic that is causing real toxicity and hate, yes, we need to control that and time that out. But right now, it's just a lot of small things happening, like people crying about things just to cry about it or just to troll. So it's like, just ignore it and it'll pass. And I wouldn't even say time them out or ban them, because if you time them out or ban them, there's always going to be moments during a stream where you'll get people that just want to vent or cry a little bit about something, or they're upset about something, right? And it's like, just let them be. It's like, it's not like they're coming into the chat saying stuff like, I hate everyone here, you guys deserve to die. Like, even in regards to like Norden, right? People were, you know, a little bit upset about what happened with the miscommunication, by the way, with what Norden said earlier. But it's not like they're saying, Norden, you should go to hell for saying that. Or, you know, it's not that bad. If people were like that upset and saying like that toxic things, or whatever the case may be, then okay, yeah, start timing that out, or I'll read more into it and address it. But if it's people just complaining about what Norden said, then yeah, it's just miscommunication, and they're trying to communicate over to Norden and to me like he'd said something that upset me, and then I already explained he didn't mean anything bad. He just said he would rather prefer one place over another to go to vacation to, and I would say the same thing. All right. So, like, for people complaining about little things, just let them be. And I'm mainly talking to my mods now here. Just, like, if we start timing everyone out for saying every little thing, then, like, it'll never happen where the chat is 100% toxic free. It'll never happen. We'll never have a chat like that. No matter what stream you go to, big or small, there's going to be people that say things that might be a little bit controversial, or they're crying, or they're trolling a little bit. We'll never have a stream where it's 100% free of all of that. So just timing people out for small comments and stuff like that is just like pointless. If anything, I feel like that makes people want to do it more because they're getting attention. What happened? Just miscommunication in the chat, and then it got a little bit out of hand. This is subscriber only chat. We are just trying to make everyone feel welcome. That's not possible. It's not possible to make everyone feel welcome. That's not the world we live in. That's like, yes, I get like a big reason why you guys come here is because like maybe my chat's more chill than other chats and whatnot. But the world we live in applies to even chats and streamer chat. It's not possible to have a 100% welcoming environment. In my opinion, like if there's toxicity in the chat, as long as it's not super toxic, let it be, because that's just how life is, right? I'm not here to give you guys an escape from the real life where there's zero toxicity. All right? Like, I get it. You guys are trying to make it as positive as possible, Pushkar and the mods. But it's not realistic, right? I'd rather people come in here and have a realistic environment where overall we keep it positive, but we're not like dictators trying to, you know, mute every little like troll that comes in here or time every little negative comment. And this is just from my experience. Like right now I'm streaming and there's chat and I have mods, but back when I was competing, okay, when I didn't have mods, right? And people would make comments about me and I would read comments about, you know, how I suck as a player or I'm overrated. And keep in mind, I competed for 3 years and I got to the global stage like 3 times and I failed at the global stage 3 times. So that's a lot of spotlight on me for people to hate on. So in the process of getting all that hate, you know, one thing that I learned, well, I mean, I didn't have mods to time everyone out, but one thing I learned from all of that is just, you know, like the hate that people give you, or the toxicity you might see in the chat, like you just kind of have to learn to ignore it in a sense. And then also like take it in a positive manner, as hard as it might be, right? A lot of people say when I was competing, a lot of people say like I always choke or I'm not good like at fights, my gun skill's weak. Like it's all true, right? I do choke a lot in close range fights. My gun skill isn't good. But they say it in a really toxic way, which hurts and it sucks. But like, you know, like everything that, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, try and like understand why some people might say some toxic things, and it'll make it easier for you also to ignore it, right? I guess that's my point. If you could try and understand some of the toxicity, then like, okay, for a quick example, we have a lot of India fans in here. We have a lot of Jonathan fans. And anytime I talk about India and stuff, I understand India is a super passionate region for their game. And when you're that passionate about something, you either really hate it or you love it. That's where passion comes in. Okay? So like, and it's not just India. It's the same for anything that's super popular, like basketball in the US. I don't follow basketball that closely, but basketball is very popular in the United States. And like, you have players like LeBron James or like whoever, like these really big players that are obviously insanely good, but because the game's so popular and you have so many, you know, just fans of the sport that are so passionate, you'll have people hating on LeBron James and saying LeBron James should retire. He's like 40 something. Why is he still playing? Blah, blah, blah. So the same thing goes for like India and their toxic fans. And then that kind of just funnels down to what happens in the YouTube chat. You know, people come in here asking me, what do you think about Jonathan? You know, what do you think about India? Does India deserve the invite slot? There's a lot of talk about India all the time. But that's just because, like, from my understanding, you know, it's just like there's a lot of people in India that enjoy the game. I also enjoy the game. More people in India, you know, it's just more popular in India, so you'll get some of those Indian people over. And the reason why they talk about their region so much is because, you know, they're just really passionate about the game and they really believe in their teams. And then the same thing for the India itself. You get a lot of people that hate on Indian teams and vice versa. Football fans are toxic as fuck too. Yeah, so it's not even an India thing. It's just, what I'm trying to say, it's a people thing. This is just how people are in general. And everybody's different. It's a people thing. It's not a India thing. It's a people thing. And so I'm just trying to like, and we're all people here. We're all humans. I don't think anyone in here is a bot. I don't think there's any bots in here spamming toxic comments. That's not a real person. So my point is that we're all people here. We all should try to understand one another. And then we're always going to have different opinions and we're always going to communicate differently. Some people are better communicating than others. And then some people, you know, and as far as toxic comments go, there's a, you know, there's like some reasoning in a sense behind the toxic comments. So like small toxicity, like just you either ignore it or you read it and you understand it, or you just, you know, you just let it be. And for everyone saying, like, drop it, stop talking about it, focus on the game hasn't started. And number two, the reason why I stream is not because I want to just only talk about PUBG Mobile and focus on PUBG Mobile. One reason why I stream and talk to you guys and I put myself out in the public is because I feel like I have something... Well, I feel blessed enough to have something to offer to you guys, my fans, the Zoo Nation. Even if you hate me and you're still here, you're here. I feel like I have more to offer you guys than just my analysis and my commentary and my focus on a freaking video game, all right? I don't do these talks often, but when I do get into these talks, or when I start talking about things other than the game and people tell me to drop the conversation or just focus on the game, that's not why I want to stream and have, you know, a chat and talk to chat. Life it's not just about the freaking game. At least for me, I don't care about only the game, all right? Like, if I have people in here and I have fans, I have supporters, you guys are subscribed to me, this is a subscriber only chat, you guys are helping me out by being in here, and so
close, and that's where the excitement of
and so like I want to build something more than just the community that's, you know, all we care about is the video game, all right?
In really the skill set of these teams. Yes, some teams are struggling more than others at the moment, but it doesn't deny the fact that the skill set at this level of gameplay is amazing to see. Satar from Genesis Dogma, though, a little bit on his own in this farm area. Now, the plane pass was quite heavily up on the kind of northern side, so Genesis Dogma getting cleanly to Milka.
Oh, he does have a gun.
They were always going to find difficult. I thought they might have dropped a little bit earlier and dropped around the Pubg area. However, I think the reason why they didn't do that is because the Xavier normally go for kind of a 2-2 split between prison and shelter, and they were uncertain. So I don't hold this against Genesis Dogma, but let's see if they can turn anything around.
Oh, why would he push? Oh, he missed way too many shots. He couldn't even get the thirst.
Unfortunately, he's not quite able to confirm the kill, and that's gonna be Genesis Dogma getting the knock and the finish. But the cavalry has arrived. Unfortunately, about
3v3. They're getting the revive, but that player's gonna be 1 HP.
Esports like to play. They are aware that Genesis Dogma really haven't had the chance to loot up a lot. The other three members.
Star Wars should lose this. They're being very aggressive, and GD's got like never mind. That guy should not have peeked. Good thing this player was here though. Yeah, Star Wars should lose this because they're playing aggressive as a 3-man versus a 4-man team.
Taking place on the one member knocked earlier for Genesis Dogma, and Top has a lot of work to do. That AK-47 is dealing a lot of damage, but it will not be enough. Stalwart Esports bid us goodbye in the very first few minutes of the game. What a play, what a wipe from Genesis Dogma.
What's the #1 rule, Blair, when you cross the road? When you go to cross the road, what's the #1 rule?
You look left and you look right.
Exactly. They didn't look both directions. They only looked one direction, and they kind of paid the price. It's unfortunate, but that's a really big risk when you're kind of walking out of that warehouse. You just have absolutely no visibility, and again they committed to that one direction.
Star Wars got destroyed.
It was a backstab double knock that came out from Daybot. Very well controlled, very well played from Genesis Dogma. They were quick to react off the back of the initial knock, so they deserved that team.
Genesis played that really well,
hey,
but yeah, Star Wars played that unnecessarily aggressive. That's just their playstyle though. But you see, like, that was definitely not done correctly.
But they haven't really hit the notes that we know they can. they've shown tiny flashes, but it hasn't been that kind of.
I think they play very aggressive because they probably thought they had the advantage of that one player being knocked still, so they felt pressured to play super aggressive.
Achievement has been more kind of like, okay, getting the best out of a bad situation.
But Star Wars tried to camp Infinity yesterday, got clapped by Infinity, and now Star Wars tried to take a head-on fight with Genesis and got clapped by Genesis.
I still need to see that team.
You could say Star Wars in a way are overly confident for sure.
Alive in phase 7 with, you know, to possibly get a chicken dinner. But for now, I think the evolution is there based on how they performed in this first Super Weekend alone.
For sure, I think you hit the nail on the head on all the points you made over there. For me personally, Genesis Dogma are for me, they're the leader of the middle of the pack, kind of. They're not even top 10 right now. And the reason I say that is because they always seem to be ever present. You know, they're always there. Every game you look at, Miramar, Sandhog, Erangel, you name it, Genesis Dogma will be involved in some crucial fight going up against some of the top dogs. And many of the times they do seem to come out on top, but they haven't had that one big pop-off game.
STE is trying to show off.
On the tippity top of the
it comes with being STE, right? Like, part of being a aggressive team, like, okay, we could all say Star Wars Esports is impressive, right? I think we could all say Star Wars Esports is a good team. It just comes with it. They'll just need to learn to balance it and control it. But playing that overly aggressive and overconfident, it's one of the reasons why they do so well too, right?
But it is going to happen eventually.
Just in that situation, it did not work for them. Like, that aggression, that confidence did not work for them.
Paying attention to this phase,
but in other situations, like 90% of the time, when they're, you know, coming from the edge and it's more of a standard team fight, like that quick aggressiveness when they get an opening knock works like 90% of the time. So they just like, that's just how they are as a team, and hopefully because they failed that so badly, they'll learn, like, okay, in this specific situation, even if we get another knock, right, we have to check our angles still.
Reject are already making their rotation to the coastal line of the mainland. They've been very proactive.
I think I say the same thing about, like, certain players too, right? Certain players that sometimes pop off really well. The reason why they pop off so hard is because they're that confident. And then, of course, sometimes that confidence makes them look like, you know, a bad player because they just get knocked all the time.
They're losing a lot of opportunity to get controlling positions, to get in a more
so my point is, like, yeah, Star Wars, they just need to balance it out.
Game, and you can see, for example,
I didn't say it completely, but I was going to say Star Wars should lose this fight because I saw them push into the warehouse and they were moving really, really fast and quickly, and I saw Genesis already set up a really good defense, and I was like, if Star Wars keeping aggressive here, they're going to lose this, and then they did lose it.
Aware of where the potential of a couple of players nearby. Hamodi is going to try and use an opportunity to strike. Unfortunately, his bullets will whiz past Longs, and so will the nade. But now the jig is up. They know where a couple of members of Nigma
Action thirsting was unnecessary on first knock.
Behind a tree. Hamodi with a fadeaway nade able to deal a bit of damage. And
I would say it could have gone either way. If he hit his shots on the thirst and then ran back in, it would have been a 4v3. But I think he missed a few shots, and then he kind of... I don't want to say he panicked, but he tried to hit the shots he missed, which caused them to get knocked. I think going for the thirst was fine if he hit all his bullets and didn't miss.
Stigma that were on the side of the hill. Fantastic observation, and there you go. HSR gets knocked. Tongja about playing that very smoothly, but in comes Hamodi to try and go for the revive. Freak is automatically trying to wrap around, but where is the fourth player from Nigma Galaxy, right? You know, where is that fourth player?
In Pachinki.
You ask the question of why Nigma are struggling. I can't help but feel this is the prime example why they're struggling.
So that's another huge mistake right there.
The trifecta of doom.
Too many global teams make that mistake.
I mean, there's so much you can do. He's gonna just drive
going for the revive.
In the meantime, though, I love this. I love this. I love
You
this
just-
from 628.
So like the reason why it's such a bad habit a lot of global teams make, and when I say global, like including Chinese teams sometimes make this mistake too.
Amazing angles as well. And Infinity, they had
Because at lower
absolutely no idea.
levels,
They've lost a member.
when your
There's
teammate
one
gets
in the
knocked,
water.
you could run there, you could revive them, and you could
Kind of
reset the
optimize
fight.
how they want to approach this.
So
For the time
teams just
being,
get trained and accustomed to
but
doing those
eventually, they
revives.
will have to make a move once the third zone comes in.
But at higher and higher levels, if your teammate gets knocked, chances are, even if you revive him, if you waste that time to revive him, you're probably both going to get knocked right after. So you just got to stay your ground and fight. Ghost Gaming yesterday made that mistake in Paradise Resort. It was a 2v4 with one person knocked on Ghost Gaming, so it could be a 3v4, assuming they get the revive and nothing happens. But
from 6 to 8 to be aware of that.
in that 2v4, if you go for a revive, you make it a 1v4 because you're doing a revive and you're not actively helping your teammate. And so, oh my gosh, this game is all over the
He
place.
just gets absolutely murdered by 4 rivals. There's so much he can do.
So like you get that revive, but your other
That's
teammates for sure gonna lose because they're getting 1v4'd.
in school, like the
And then it just changes back to 2v4 again, but this time,
She must have seen that coming, right? Should have known that.
when you get that reset into
most of them, they
2v4,
just charging on
you
in,
and your
yeah,
teammate
it
that
was
you
too
just
far away
revived
for anything
is
to
usually in a
sort
bad
out.
position,
But
which is
he
why they
showed
got
there was
knocked
a
in the
member,
first
but,
place.
yeah, they used
And
to
then
have
they
3
need a
alive,
heal,
still pretty comfortable. They're
and then the
smack in
enemy
center,
is
so
just
not
like
exactly smack in the center, but in a
more
very comfortable
prepared to
position.
shoot you in the 2v4 afterwards versus you holding your defense and not going for the revive.
Genesis Dogma, because it was a farm area. We saw how they looked so very solid early on to get the squad wipe on the Starwood Esports.
Lower the sound of the casters. People were saying earlier like I need to raise it. So now it's too loud, I guess.
Yeah.
The entirety of farm, the entire eastern side, and if it's a big if, but if the circle does shift south, they have control of the cliffs as well. This is looking very good for them.
You're right, but I would prefer to see one of them shift a little bit more.
Here's my, so if anybody's a competitive player here, here's how you should gauge when to revive players, right? If one of your teammates gets knocked, in some situations you should be able to tell pretty obvious, like, okay, if I go for a revive immediately, I'll have time to reset, everything will be okay. Some situations, it's very obvious you can do that. But in some situations, if you're not sure, like, oh, my teammate got knocked, this team might push now. If you're not sure, you can always defend a strong position, or you can always defend your position or move a little bit to a better position to anticipate the team pushing. And if they don't push you within the next 5-6 seconds, chances are they're uncomfortable pushing you, or they don't know how to push, or they're just not going to push you regardless. So after 5 or 6 seconds, if nothing happens, then you go for the revive.
Headed straight into Pachinki. Instead, they go all the way around in order to find Tunny, and they're still looking for him. The poor guy, just let him be.
STE has taken it personal. I think STE is just trying to get easy kill points.
Because with the circle shift on phase 3 going up north, that's kind of what I was alluding to with Genesis Dogma, because from that farm area up the hill, you don't
Infinity
really get
always
much
loots
information,
military
but
base,
now
right?
they've
So
reacted extremely
easy camp if they really want it.
to move in through that eastern side of the circle on the edge outside of the Potato Hill, should I say. So good adaptability from Genesis Dogma. The other good thing about this circle shift play is that pretty much all the teams are inside the circle. We have 15 up, 13 of them are now inside the circle of phase 3. So we should see a little bit of a lull for the next 4 to 5 minutes until the next phase pops up.
Okay, so nothing's gonna happen for a little bit here.
So Tunny, he realizes that he's like, okay, maybe they've left. Maybe I can make my move, my way in. And you have Yu Yang.
I have not watched God L play.
This is hilarious.
I haven't watched any of the Indian teams play.
Really don't want
I'm waiting for BGIS to start, and hopefully...
There we go. It's going to be Daoshi, actually. It was all a ruse. The 2 players left early, but they left a couple behind, and Yu Yang...
Hopefully I can get permission.
He just pokes his head off the ground. He's like, are they gone? I think they're gone. No, they weren't. No, they were not. So Infinity down to the 1 member, but he is alive. Mela is still alive on the western side of, just the west of Pachinko.
There's a couple of really good splits that are coming out in this circle. MS Chambori especially, I really like that 2-2 split. They tuned the compound down by the buildings that's opposite of not opposite, but outside of school, and then 2 overlooking Pachinki. DRS as well, they have 1 holding onto the compound in the northeastern edge of the circle, and then the other 3 players are in that compound.
Oh, rip Infinity.
But it's a really good kind of building area outside of Potato Hill.
I didn't see that guy.
It gives them a lot of area
Mela.
for this phase 4 wraparound. And the Xavier, I'm not.
What is the SZ and STE? I actually don't know. Anyone in the chat know what the SZ and STE stands for?
Possibly pick off a couple of teams.
I think they're gonna regroup as well, right? You can see Raviz and Lamborghini making the way towards the southern side of that particular zone, and that is of course going to be skirting the top edge of the Potato Hill. In the meantime, the Deadeye's guys, they are finally going to have to defend their the fortification they've had. Now we have Rico Infinity making the way to the neighboring apartments. You can also hear Nova in the background whizzing past, and can't forget 4 rivals still holding the position right outside the school apartment. So this is interesting, and TJB as well on a bit of a migration. And
oh, Shenzhen. Oh, the city.
Prestigo. He's got an angle.
Not really a massive fan of Rico.
SC's for the city Shenzhen. Okay, that's a city in China.
Phase 4 is a big
oh,
risk.
okay.
It's important that Rico Infinity do everything they can to take advantage.
What?
Frag Boy does what he can to take advantage.
At TJB player glitch.
They're facing brutal angles on all sides as MS Chambori comes in, and just like that, Tongja Bao down to just a solo player.
I love this position by MSC. There's like a certain area on that Erangel hilltop that's kind of like a pocket position that not a lot of teams really play or know about. I don't know if MSC is in the exact position, but there is a position right there. I thought Nova was going to play it potentially, but Nova just went to the buildings.
Don't have too many options here. 3C, what is going on? He's gonna be driving.
But there's a position right there where like the hill is sloped in a way where with the rocks there, you're pretty safe. I think MSC is in that position.
But they're getting mowed down by Divine and Duello.
Yeah, right here. It's like, yeah, it's a little bit away from here where these teams can't see you. And there's like some rocks and stuff. Yeah, it's this position right around here.
But it's not looking
like
pretty at all.
This area.
A little bit of a desperate rotation from 628 in the end. They should have been a little bit
okay,
more
maybe not
aware
up there
of
because
that,
Nova can see you.
Outside of the circle in the first 3 phases and seeing such a shift up north.
Yeah, it's like in that area. I think MSC is in it.
Like they weren't ready for that fight, so they should have held back.
It's not like super strong and 100% safe though. But if you're not sure where to rotate in a zone shift like this, and you're coming in from a very far spot and you don't know how to, you don't have an entry point in, you could use that spot. Chances are, I might eat my words here. MSC has 3 players. Chances are MSC is gonna finish at least top 5 here.
Up and shoot, and it gives them a lot of exit ability coming into this phase 5. So Genesis Dogma in one of the strongest spots for the late game.
Oh yeah, they've thus far been incredible. How Genesis Dogma with their rotations, knowing the right angles, what to do. Marshall taking a knock onto Nova, who has a little log cabin to work with, and RC reject. Sarah is lonesome. He can't cross on over to its Reiji to get
both SCEs are dead.
Comfortable position for him. Smokes are gonna bloom.
See this position right here. Given this circle, no matter how it shifts, right, chances are they will get the next zone. And even if they don't get the zone, it's a good spot to just push teams away because it's so hard to to take that position because it's such a weird spot to fight into, and chances are you pretty much have to full send it, and if you stop a little bit short to try and take that spot over, you're exposed to many different angles. So it's like just it's just like this one small little pocket here that's playable.
Many kills coming into this. It's the worst possible shift, being honest, that so many of these teams could have asked for, because there's very little big cover. It's precarious on the angles you hold on to, and it's just every man, woman, and child for themselves. Team Secret are trying to wrap around. They played this north side quite nicely. Now they're getting close to the side.
It's a good spot. Apartments can't see. Yeah, the tree leaves are in a way in that spot where the apartments can't really see.
Yep, a rough end for Enigma Galaxy. Their woes continue, but so Infinity has been knocked out as well very, very early in the game, which is surprising. A couple of the big heavy hitters, but we still, of course, have Genesis Dogma going up against the Xavier, but they're actually having to take fights on two fronts.
It's not super common, but I think a good amount of teams know it now.
Position to fight from, but Booms, he could kind of ruin their day.
This game's been out for like 3 years. More and more teams know about these certain spots.
Takes him down, and one by one, Genesis Dogma, they start to fall. They were in such a good position earlier, but now they're down to two-man squad. Albeit, they do have 6 kills, top fragging in the squad.
I don't hold it against them again, because it's really difficult for all of these teams, and now they're going to get put under pressure by Team Secret, as DRS have done a great job of staying inside the circle and pushing Genesis Dogma back. Daybot has knocked Genesis down to just 1 eye shots, pulling it all in. Sarah trying to stay alive. That's a free kill for Galzen. Not quite there. Boom. There you go.
Well, not a free kill for him, but a free kill for his team.
This is match number 3.
Finally, and put Sarah out of his misery, and with that we say goodbye to the Japanese side. But Xavier, they have a great angle onto DRS, kind of silhouetted against the sky. With Nima getting taken down, they're going to be pushing on in. Mafia Ninja trying to make his way downhill, and it looks like they will have to abandon Nima, because he is, of course, just the one man remaining, and Lamborghini making very quick work of Nima. A bit of vehicle manslaughter coming in, as well as on top with a little bit of a gap there, taking pot shots. But Mafia Ninja, he gets some revenge, but it's just the one knock and a kill. He still has to contend with a multitude of other players, as we do finally say goodbye to Genesis Dogma, taken down.
Oh my god. Are you serious? The circle shifted towards apartments.
I can't believe it.
Like, come on. You know, talk about being I know, I cast her cursed. It's still
okay, so with the way this circle shifted, it shifted in a way where it's like perfectly screwed for MSC. Most of the times, the team up here will have, there should be a second team contesting them on this shift, where they can't just 4v3 like for free. But the circle shifted in a way where this team is perfectly uncontested up there. So I cast a cursed MSC, I guess, but trust me, chat. Most of the time, that position, if you just get there, you'll be okay. Because that team that pushed them, there usually is at least another team that will need to come down from that mountaintop. But the previous circle was made in a way where there was only one team above MSC, so it worked perfectly for the team that pushed MSC.
And they've managed to push Deadeye's guys all the way on top of the apartments, where they can be spotted, they can be sighted out. On top, still going to be sticking on around. He's got a mini 14 looking to get take a couple of pot shots, maybe third party a few of these teams, get a couple of kills. But this battle between Rico Infinity and 4 Rivals, they are not friendly neighbors, mind you. But 4 Rivals also happy taking shots at the Xavier in the distance.
Here's the thing, they can all technically coexist with each other, right? They can, you know, form that truce, the alliance. Okay, we're all in the one building together. Let's ignore each other, focus on the teams around us, and then we can finish each other off. So I do kind of appreciate that between 4 Rivals and Deadeye's guys specifically.
Bro, like, listen, and Nova are getting harassed by every single team in the server, as finally Rabbits will be found by Rithrall. down Rabbids. Of course, they still have cover. They can deploy a couple of smokes. They can go for the res as well. That cluster of rocks really.
This is a crazy zone in there.
So for the time being, they're going to be okay. Nova, a couple of reses have come in. They've been able to heal themselves.
Nova's spot earlier is like, I've played that spot before. Like these houses, it's like never good. You will always lose your cars there, and then the zone. If it even if the zone shifts really close to you, if it shifts off the building, you're like screwed.
Or beside where 3 teams lie, so they're in a really good spot. Of course, bearing where the circle goes, of kind of
like that little small compound is like never good.
From the other building across the way. Beautiful shots as Xavier. They're now under massive pressure as the circle shifts to the northwest. Still with these apartment buildings. You know what? I'm done predicting circle shifts. This is crazy.
This is actual insanity. On top though, finishing off Nova. And I think Nova have been eliminated. There we go. Della's guys taking care of them. And I gotta say, I love how Rico Infinity are not just keeping Xavier pinned down, but they're also ensuring that they're keeping 4 rivals at bay. They're taking fights on multiple fronts as Tang Jiabao and Xavier as well exchanging bullets. And I gotta say, it's looking very good
shifted.
for both Tang Jiabao as well as Xavier. They're both outside of the zone, and the moment they
I love how these teams are just like agreeing not to fight each other. Like, hey, if we fight each other,
perhaps even
one of us is gonna die. So how about we just both kill everybody else and then fight each other later?
But yeah, right now these 4 teams, they're not gonna budge. Not really.
Xavier is so screwed.
Focusing all their attention on Xavier for Xavier.
Oh my god.
I really feel sorry for them. There's nothing they can do. They don't have any vehicles to work with. They were relying on the circle shifting away from apartments. They've had a damn
the whole stream impersonating Uncle Roger.
It's just a matter of time. It's sadistic, like, won't somebody think of the children, blah.
This is... Yeah,
I wonder how many bullets have hit that rock.
In the Geneva Convention where you can't throw in that amount of lead in the direction of a particular squad. And Frankie Lawson is still trying his best. He's in the blue. They're still shooting at him. Oh, the humanity. Poor Xavier. And amongst all the commotion, everyone's kind of seemingly forgotten Tang Jiabao. They're going to be tossing in nades as well towards Frankie. Finally, the zone will claim him, and Xavier, their woes, their miseries, it comes to an end. F's in the chat for
TJB's in zone here.
That must have sucked.
It really must have. The thing that Tang Jiabao did have to their advantage is they had a little bit of a low ground dip to play with, which they've used certainly to their advantage. But now that the Xavier are out of here, you would have seen in the kill.
Watch us shift to TJB.
Rico and Deadeye's guys can now focus on Tang Jiabao, and then the next.
Oh, did shift to TJB. Holy shit!
However, what's good for Tang Jiabao?
Everybody's got to push out of the apartments now.
Away from apartment buildings, about 3 to 4 circles later than I expected it to.
Yeah, well, they're fortunate with the circle, not very fortunate with the nade. Turulov with a pristine.
Oh, this is
getting a knock.
This is gonna be perfect, dude.
Seal the deal and wipe out Tang Jiabao from the server, from the game. Oh, well, it's taking care of attacker. Now it's all on Manhunt. He's got the bush. He's got a little bit of smoke as well. But as a circle,
watch this be TJB's first chicken dinner.
Has to be focused on the remaining teams in this apartment.
4 rivals opens a knock onto one of the Cryptics players, El Chapo. Lots of smokes being thrown out by Cryptics as they do have to exit the building.
Here we go. Finally, teams are dropping on down, but DE, they haven't budged yet. They're still on top, even standing in the blue as a bit of a team lead coming in from Rico Infinity, but they're able to get a couple of knocks into 4 rivals as well, and this is the opportunity for Manhan. He's still looking for get those kills. He's not going to be happy only with the top 2 placing. He wants to take them all down, get a little bit of revenge for his team. 4 rivals are spraying blindly through the smoke. This is absolute pandemonium as Senkai, the last man standing. I do believe it is a 1v1 against 4 rivals. Turulov taken down.
It's a 1v1v1.
We're down to the final 3. Not just teams, but 3 players left in the zone. It is going to be Cryptics against Tang Jiabao against all odds.
And of course, the final member, Literal, Nate's gonna be
Oh.
locked in. His true love gets taken down. Literal on a sliver of HP, trying his desperate best to just somehow crawl his way in. But
Oh.
man had the nade a little too deep. He knows where he is. He's got the rock for cover. He's gonna try and patch
Yeah, don't
himself
stay
up,
at the
but
rock, dude.
no.
That rock is gonna
Thinks
be a nade
He
magnet.
wants to take the fight. No, he's gonna be standing in the smoke. I love this. Repositioning himself. But Literal, I think he's
Did he like bandage on accident?
He's gonna crawl in closer.
Oh my
Man,
God.
you gotta switch your weapon
Oh my
anytime
God.
soon, son. You need to switch to a gun right now, and he has no idea. He still has no idea where Literal's going to be coming in from. Both the players have healed.
This
up
guy's
right
making
now.
way
He's
too much
making a lot of
noise.
Literal sneaking in from the side. He can hear him.
He's
He
making
knows
so
where he
much
is.
noise,
And Manage
dude.
just seems to be
TJB's
tunnel
gonna
vision.
throw
The fact he's
this.
across this little mound has no clue. He's to his left, and it is
Oh
gonna
my
be
God.
Literal. He's lying his weight. He's gonna line it up. But he
Oh,
gets
how
it
did
out,
you?
and it is gonna be-
You literally heard him the whole time. You had to jump on. Oh my god, I can't believe TJB won that game.
What a miracle for TJB Imperium. They had no business winning.
Four rivals could literally hear him the whole entire time. He's literally right in front of you.
Misspeak of you. You're kind of right that they had no right to win that game, but when the circles like shift in such a way
Oh
that
my god,
catches a
dude.
lot of
Four
teams off
rivals
guard,
choked
like,
that.
a lot of teams off guard, because the reason why I said it was gonna pull away from apartments, because like 9 times out of 10 it does.
Was
Now,
he
even though you can't
reloaded?
predict,
He was
you kind of-
reloading?
Manhunt just seems to be tunnel vision, and the fact that he's across this little mound has no clue. He's to his left, and it.
Oh my god. Okay, so spectator is glitched, all right? Just so you guys know. In spectator view, we could see him very clearly, but when you're playing the actual game, this is probably covered in smoke. To be honest, this is probably covered in smoke, all right? Spectator view is glitched like that. When I was competing, there were times where it would show like I could see an enemy, but when I was playing the game, you actually can't. But that still doesn't change the fact you hear him moving like just right in front of you this whole time. You had the advantage on him by knowing exactly where he was.
Oh my god!
He's lying his weight. He's gonna line it up, but he gets spotted out, and it is gonna be. And it is
Oh
gonna
my
be
god!
His lying vision, and the fact that he's across this little mound has no clue. He's to his left, and it is
Oh
gonna
my
be
god!
He's lying his weight. He's gonna line it up, but he gets spotted out.
That player still choked though. That player choked so bad. I'm pretty sure he couldn't see him though.
He saw him and get the kill, and yet he somehow didn't find it. And TJB, a well-deserved chicken dinner, considering how grim it looked at one point. They were a two-man squad for what felt like forever, but they're able to turn it around. Just incredible stuff coming up from the Chinese side. And for a team
Yeah, he
who's
just
been
choked.
languishing at the very
He just
bottom,
choked.
it must be such a good
It
boost.
happens.
It's been a struggle bus for them. Let's be straight up honest. And yeah, okay, it might not be the way you want to win a game, but opportunity comes. You take advantage of the opportunity, and Tong Jia Bao did that. But this game was full of action right from the offset. We saw the fight between Genesis Dogma and Stalwart right at the start. 6-2-8 hunting down Infinity off a very poor rotation from Team Infinity. And then you had the circle shifting towards Potato Hill. The Xavier played a wonderful game on that south edge of the circle on top of Potato Hill. They got a number of kills. Deadeye's guys, yes, they committed to apartments, I think, on phase 2, and they were able to stay on the roof of that building and also pick off a couple of players. This game was just something different.
I still trying to wrap my head around what we witnessed in the final zone, because
I still need a clip to do
everyone just
analysis
dropped
on.
down, right?
I
It
did
was
one
like,
earlier
I
in the
think I
first
lost
game, but
count
it's
of
not a
numbers,
super
so
clean
it's
one.
like
There's
deployed,
too
like,
many like
about
different
15,
factors
20
and like
smokes all around. Deadeye's guys dropping from above, Cryptics is dropping down. It just complete absolute chaos and pandemonium right outside his apartment building.
I guess I could do an easy one real quick. A lot of you guys probably already know this, like when to go for revives, when not to go for revives.
The wraparound from H-Sir going into the field down on the bottom of the hill.
Considering both the would have of Nick Mc
I can maybe do it over this one.
It takes for them rolling into the mid, bow rotating. Dinky.
TJB set up for this fight for
right now
a while too,
two teams,
actually.
bottom of the table, who were incredible in the league stage, might be going up against each other here. Longs aware of where the potential of a couple of players nearby. Hamodi is going to try and use an opportunity to strike. Unfortunately, his bullets will whiz. Enigma Galaxy are, of course, Lord lying in wait.
Oh, okay. I actually didn't notice how TJB set up this fight. They set up this fight pretty well. I almost don't want to do this though, because it's another Chinese team, and I already focus on a Chinese team.
A couple of players nearby. Bullets of Nade.
And TJB's like not doing well either.
I really love the wraparound from HSR going into the field down on the bottom of the hill behind the hay bale to get an off angle. It's a really good position to suppress the two members of Nigma that were on the side of the hill. A fantastic observation, and there you go. HSR gets
the play zone. Now, considering both the teams have fade away, Longs. Aware.
Hopefully we'll find something else later on. But yeah, I already told you guys, it's really obvious, right? This team is trying to kill you. So if one of your players get knocked, you do not go for the instant revive. You expect them to push you. Because in this situation, it's pretty obvious this team is taking a fight with you so they could kill you guys. So if your teammate gets knocked, think about where they're going to push from due to your knocked player's position, and just defend and hold. Going for the revive is like never the correct play.
Freak is automatically trying to wrap around, but where fourth player? This is the prime example.
Yeah, like it's just
they're struggling.
What he should have done instead of going for that revive is just hold his position.
Side of the hill, it's fantastic. Be smoothly, but and there you go. HSR.
If he just held his position up here and the team pushes up, basically he just plays for himself. Maybe he gets a knock because, you know, TJB pushes up, and then it's a 3v3, and then the fight's kind of different and it resets. But when you go for a revive, it's like, you know, you're useless, and you're also usually in a bad spot.
Down. Wait.
Like, I want to analyze a different team, but like, there's nothing else that happened here for me to analyze. Literally, like, nothing else happened that's easily analyzable.
Now they've decided up. See a face pop.
Honey. To stay alive, but we'll get left up. Are they gone, member? Pushing. Is still alive on the western side.
I can talk about GD Gids, I guess, when they fought Stalwarts in the beginning. But that was more so just Stalwarts being super aggressive.
The compound down by the buildings that's eastern. And the Xavier, I'm not the biggest fan.
I can maybe analyze a rotation here. The only thing interesting here is this position right here. Everything else is pretty common. There's nothing really to analyze.
Of this 2-2 split, but now
okay, well, Xavier, they held the edge, and then they eventually ended up here. Where did DRS go?
Guys, they are the fortification in the back, pull apart.
Pretty advantage.
Trying to find, but he's gonna be drive. Arrived, but they're getting mowed down. But oh, they come to a two-play.
A little bit more teams. They were ramble taken out. Hold on to
oh yeah, what did happen to DRS?
A knock on Sarah. Even building, they can move.
Dude, possible big cut. It's just north side roof.
Offend very early in the game.
Oh, DRS got pushed by GD Gids.
But DRS, but Booms,
and they lost. Oh no, Xavier and GD Gids came in at the same time.
Position to fight from, but Booms, he could kind of ruin their down, and one by one Genesis. They do have 6 kills, top fragging in
teams, and now they're going to get put under pressure by Genesis Dogma back day bot in Sarah.
But Xavier, they have a great angle onto DRS.
Oh, then D
And so
Xavier
whether
pushed to
against
finish
Sky,
them
with
off.
Nima getting taken down, they're going to be pushing on in. Mafia Ninja trying to make his way downhill, and it looks like they will have to abandon Nima because he is, of course, just the one man remaining. And Lamborghini making very quick work of Nima. A bit of vehicle manslaughter coming in as well as on to just finally say
it's a circle.
One reason why it's so hard to make analytic videos, by the way, is because when I make an analytic video, the things I say, I want it to be like 90% to 100% useful or true, right? There's a lot of things in this game where it's just more so situational, so I can't really like analyze something because it won't always be true or it won't always happen because it more so depends on the circle shifts or different factors.
But then I shot them.
Basically
like the things I want to analyze and talk about is like things you can always use in a competitive game. Many of the times games are just won through a mix of RNG, certain teams pushing other teams, and just like a lot of outside factors. That's probably the hardest part about analyzing that maybe some of you guys might not know.
And then we can finish specifically.
Bro,
and there's a lot of analytic videos out there where it's like they focus on like a very specific thing, which I think for me I don't like doing because it's like, okay, in that very one situation, yes, it happened like that, but you're not really like actually teaching anything in the video because it's just in that very specific situation this happened, so you're saying the stuff you're saying because of that very specific situation. The analytic videos I try to do, or like when I do on stream for you guys, is more so situations that, or more so lessons, so to say, that you can apply like, that you can apply to like multiple different scenarios and like maybe all the time even.
On top of them, and I got a sure on the Xavier as well as the and perhaps shots teams that are on team.
They've had a
yeah, there wasn't anything in here that I could like straight up just like talk about other than the TJB push because it was an isolated 4v4.
Hindsight, and also to be able to see everything happening in the match, right? We have like the match stream, we can see where every team is going, and obviously we don't know what information teams get and don't get. But
the polycasters were so disappointed by 4 rivals.
Bridge Camp, Maxman, Colaris, you're normally a host. You keep going.
The casters aren't supposed. So casters are supposed to like. I could probably tell you guys this. It's not like I have a billion people watching me either. How many viewers do I have right now? Let's take a quick look. I only have like 500 of you guys watching. So like, whatever happens on the screen is supposed to be correct, right? Casters and analysts, we're not supposed to be like, oh yeah, you guys could see them on the screen, but the player might not be able to, because then it's like basically saying, okay, well, the spectator is wrong then. And it's just like, that's not a good look for the game. So like, if the casters are being like, oh, he could see him, but he didn't even shoot, like, that's what kind of we have to say. Or if the casters might not know, like the Nepali casters, and a lot of casters might not even know because they don't have competitive player history or background, so they might not even know that that's the case. But like for me, I do know. So if I was casting, I would just not mention it at all. I'm just gonna be like, oh, so unfortunate he decided to reload in that situation, but he should have been able to know from the footsteps, you know, and gauge exactly how far that player was and just realize he could just get up and push him and still have the advantage. That's probably what I would say. I just ignore the entire premise of, oh, he could see him through the smoke, why didn't he shoot? Like, I just ignore that completely. But if the casters were like, oh, he could see him, but he didn't shoot, like, oh, that's such a choke. Like, maybe the caster probably actually doesn't know that there is a discrepancy between, you know, what a player can see on the screen through smoke and what the spectator can see on the screen through smoke. Or the caster does know, but they just have to, you know, just call it out like that because what you see on the stream is correct.
Some last PMGC.
Dead Eyes guys right now.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to like place where they would be. I think if we were going off eliminations alone, they'd be around 12th out of the 16 teams. But they're currently
yes, I have asked about BGIS. It is in the process of potentially.
Either way, they still have time to work on it, right? They have time to work and also time to.
It is in the process of potentially. I might get the permission, I might not, but it's underway.
We know who Max already picked. I'm leaving mine as
the poly teams don't have competitive history. Okay, so this is a classic moment of a misunderstanding in the chat based on something I said. Maybe I said it incorrectly, but in this case, Reina in the chat heard me incorrectly. So going back to what we were talking about earlier, miscommunications happen all the time. So toxicity will happen, but just know it's a misunderstanding, most likely at first. So you could chill on the toxicity, and I could not be toxic with my response as well. So Reina, to clarify, I was saying some casters don't have a competitive background. So casters that don't play this game might not realize that when you play the game and there's a smoke on the screen, you can't see anything. But in spectator mode, maybe the spectator can see the enemy, but you literally can't see the enemy. That's what I was saying.
The two that were down south, actually that compound that they took with the two at the bottom is very strong, and you see Nova very frequently taking that kind of spot in those kinds of.
One of the guys raided? Wait, who raided?
Compound as well. Unfortunately for them,
because I've played competitive matches where I couldn't see a player, or I had teammates. I definitely had teammates that couldn't see a player in the smoke. And then when we go and watch the tournament footage back, in the tournament footage, he could see him clearly. And it's just like, oh shit, you know, like, yeah.
Going into those final circles.
Since they're playing this clip again, like, I guess we could talk a little bit more about the STE fight.
Why am I here?
I really like what Sitar did.
But yeah, we had also at the very start of this game, we had some
him pushing here was not correct though.
Action happening between Genesis Dogma and also Star Wars.
Like, very obvious. Like, Sitar did not need a push. Action didn't know where he was. He should wait for his teammate to fully attract the attention of Action and then come in for a flank or something.
Which they were completely under.
Luckily for him, Action couldn't really see him clearly when he was knocked in the grass and missed too many shots. So going for this thirst was fine, assuming Action can hit all the shots and get the thirst and still have time to run into cover. But you see, he's in a 1v4, right? Even if he got the thirst and ran into cover, or even if he just ran into cover immediately and didn't go for the thirst, chances are he gets knocked and he dies, right? So this was the right play. Going for the thirst is actually the right play because his team is so far, the enemy team is all on top of him. The best he can do is confirm a kill point and make it a 3v3 instead of a potential 4v3. So what Action did was perfectly correct. Someone earlier in the chat said Action shouldn't have thirsted. So this is like one huge issue with common people. And when I say common people, I mean like people that don't play the game competitively at a high level. One issue is like you judge things based on what happens. You don't judge things based on the situation from a competitive background, right? So here, when we watch it back, I am showing you guys what Action did is 100% correct. If he just ran into the warehouse, unless if he does a crazy 1v2 with a M16 with no helmet and level 1 vest, then that was a mistake. What he's doing right now is probably the best chances of him helping out his team given his situation.
M16 to potentially one of your top players, Action and Top, and you're not going to fight it back. I mean, yeah, Snickle is coming in with also a shotgun. Like, they're meaning business right now. And Genesis Dogma throughout this...
So this player right here, I would say definitely made a mistake. You can almost argue it two different ways, though. Like, because he peeked up here and got knocked, that made STE very overconfident, and they just pushed out and didn't check their left angle, and they traded 1 knock for 2. You can argue that. Chances are that was not in the team communication or the team plan, though. If legit the plan was, this player said, like, I'm going to peek this, I might get knocked, but bait my knock. Or it's like, they don't know I'm here, like, bait them out. If that was the comms, if that was communicated, then this guy peeking is 100% correct. But I'm going to say it's incorrect because it just so happened to work out for them. But if they planned for it to work out this way, like they communicated it, then that's perfectly fine. Like, that's a 200 IQ play, and that's good. Well, what's important is, like, there's a plan of action, right? When you're coaching or analyzing a team, the important thing is, like, the team has a plan and they have something in mind, and sometimes it doesn't work out. That's fine. You know, they had a plan. If the plan sounds good, if that was their plan, then fine. But I'm going to assume that wasn't the plan. This player definitely did not need a peek like that. He can wait for these players to come out, and then the second this player shoots, this guy also shoots. Right?
Been willing to take these fights a little bit more. They feel a lot more confident when it comes down to early skirmishes. So, I mean, that double knock that came out from Daybot instantly put the man advantage in their favor, and they just were able to close it off really well.
All right, we got a freaking 8-minute break.
What? Two? Double knock coming in from AJ. He's gonna finish him off as well. Jumper, this nade could be everything. He's gonna beautiful.
What does viewer party mean? It just means I'm sitting here watching a game with you guys, and it's a party because you guys are all here.
Down to attacker, the 1 versus 2, the lone standing member, and they know exactly where he is, and that is gonna be team secret.
Suppress this line, but more nades continue to go through. Jimmy in danger now. A beautiful nade to the back finds the flush, and King goes low.
We have 2 more games, right?
Swelling over the hillside, 1 goes down, but is traded evenly with Jimmy. King now up to bat, looks for the shots, but not going to find it. Has to go for the weapon swap, and the drop shot is good. Nova taken down by Reject. Going and Nox going back and forth as nades start to fly on our main screen as well. DRS pressuring the Infinity with nades. Someone outside my window is unhappy about the Infinities taking the nades as well. The horns are blaring, and the nades are fragging on out. Nox coming through thick and fast. The Infinities down to 1. Ice shots low. They're so low.
What's up, Jav?
For the shot. Not going to be able to get the damage back into the smoke. Needs the reload. Gets it off and moves through the smoke now, trying to play around that vision. The damage is good, but Ice shots falls. A 1-1, and it's Stalwart to snatch it away from Team Secret right at
Yo, Zoo, let's watch some cute girls. Is hot dog a sandwich? Where would we go rating girls?
さあユナイト3名になった。対してそのこうするかのように時計回りですね。時計回りで回っていくのがユナイト。
なのでこのラピスが落ちると一気にリジェクトも危ないので、ここ耐えなくちゃいけないですね。
ラピス耐えれるか。もう味方が来ている。車両でアタック。
Why is there that clicking noise? It sounds like a mouse click. It's not me. Is that supposed to be part of the song, or did they like accidentally get someone's like mouse click onto the soundtrack? Disclaimer. Wait, that's a command? ZooTay is single now and is rating girls just for the simps in the chat. Not to mention, ZooTay is a big simp now. However, looks aren't the only thing to ZooTay. Looks aren't the only thing ZooTay looks in girls. Peace. Who made that? Who made that a command? Oh my gosh. Alright, somebody in the chat said the other day, which team has girlfriends again? Was it Deadeyes? Was it the Deadeyes players? Or was it the Zeus players? Wait, Zeus isn't in this tournament, so we're not gonna look at Zeus. But was it the Deadeyes players? Chat, let me know which players in this tournament right now have girlfriends, and you guys could simp for them or something. Set mode activated. I made that. Many people were calling you sexist for rating those PEL cheerleaders. Okay. Don't rate players' girlfriend. They might get offended. I mean, it's all for jokes. We're just going to say everybody is a 10. All right? Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. All right, okay. Never mind. Never mind. We can't have fun here. No fun. Shifu is married. Those girls must be glad to have boyfriends with just fast, flexible fingers. All right, okay. We're not gonna rate players' girlfriends. Here's your daily Jonathan content on the stream. Since you guys asked me about Jonathan so much, here you go. Jonathan is a very good looking person. That's my thoughts on Jonathan. Let's just go through the player Instagrams. Let's do that. Let's start from first place, all right? Who's Infinity's in first place right now?
Can get into top 16 to make it into.
Okay, let's start with Infinity. Infinity. What does God Tunny look like? Anyone knows God Tunny's Instagram? INF God Tunny. It's probably on Wikipedia, right? Oh, this is God Tunny. Okay. Let's just pick one player. Don't need that. Rico Infinity. Rico Infinity team. This team's doing really good. Rico Infinity is 2nd place. Definitely not a team we were expecting. This player has no image. Rico Infinity. Hero. I heard you were a killer in college. Dude, I sucked at college. Lucia loves esports is my biggest simp. Have you seen Wynn's girlfriend? Yeah. Oh, Chiffon messaged me. I think Chiffon wants to get on call because these breaks are so long.
Likes of.
Oh, wait.
It's the league finals. Let's see what happens.
See, Japan is back on the map for us here, and I'm loving to see it. You know, I was talking about...
Think about what they were able to do yesterday on Sandhawk with the compound that they had northeast of the quarry position. They could easily convert
montage
that
review.
Not only, you know, moving through the positions and moving forwards into the circles, but also getting themselves a few kills here and there.
Lucia isn't with Uneven. They broke up a while ago.
Speaking of coming to fruition,
That's my college education background. I have a major, or I have a degree in marketing, a bachelor's degree.
If it's not going to be Corey, where do you think the zone's going to finish off near?
Why am I so over smart? I honestly don't think I'm smart. I just I just take the time to understand certain things.
Okay, don't I bring that back up? I would
I
like
think
to see a
I'm patient,
some of the most interesting ones,
and I just
think
try
those
to
like
understand
Retake
people
played the trifecta
and
really well, so
certain
if they
things
do
from
Retake
different
win, we'll have to see.
points of view.
I want to see the trifecta as well.
And I
but
just
also
try to
don't wanna see
I
Colares
try to
people
think and look about things from like a bigger perspective.
No, indeed. None of that plays. I think
If that means smartness, then yes, okay, I'm smart.
Four rivals. I think that they've had some rough.
But I'm good with my words, and I'm patient, and I try to understand things from different points of view. So that's why it might seem like I'm smart.
If they win when he says it, I am gonna be.
But I don't think I'm like
They better
smart.
not now.
Smart.
That's the thing, like, it's a win-win situation for Colares. If they win, it's like, yeah, I'm a genius. If they lose, it's like, all right, well, yeah. I mean, they haven't been able to get chicken dinner just yet. But eventually, we will see it out of DRS. Eventually, we'll see it at 4 rivals.
Bring Chiffon.
Only time
I think the next game's gonna start soon, so.
Countdown coming through, so let's throw it back to our commentators.
Can a team have 2 coaches? Yeah, sure. But I think teams, that wouldn't really make sense. They just have 1 coach and 1 analyst. What about Audrey? Why do you guys keep... Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
Her...
gonna waste any time at all getting into.
Actually, I have a question for you guys. For you guys that watch PMGC West, when Audrey, aka Span Cargo, comes up on stream, do you guys see her and think her more as Audrey or Span Cargo?
Happened there with my setup, but it looks like I was muted for the beginning, but it's okay. It's all right. Apparently,
like, are you guys just memeing me by asking about Audrey? Or when you guys watch the stream, do you guys see the stream and actually just see her name pop up and just like, okay, that's Audrey, instead of your first reaction as that Span Cargo?
Listen.
BTR got twins in their team, and their players also have a romantic relationship with twins, who also play in the BTR girls team. That just does not sound like a very good idea.
Okay, once it's only one other team dropping on us, we can deal with that. We can deal with it. But if it's any more, it's like, no.
Audrey?
Can't deal with it. So they'll be happy that it's just Rico.
Okay.
Paradise in itself, though, is
Audrey is the host for PMGC West.
City.
She's the host. She goes by Span Cargo. But I'll let her know. Full screen? Sorry, my bad.
Ways you can safely get around the resort area, and
I'll let her know that though. That's funny.
Do what they're doing right now, which is have one or two on the outside of it and move around that way to try and find an off angle onto one of the Xavier players. So I'm curious how that fight is.
Audrey is the host for PMGC West.
In the center of the map outside of boot camp in a 4-man split. The phase 1 popped up, and it's very nice.
STE. Only 9th and 10th place now. Nova's 11th. TJB's 15th. Damn, Chinese teams are getting clapped right now.
For this first circle.
Indeed, it is. It's a very, very pretty zone if you're one of the players on the island. As for Rico Infinity, though, they have tasted blood. Have got the first knock and finish onto the Xavier, and the Xavier, they've looted up a bit.
Yeah, I saw Jonathan got MVP again.
About the utility or the meds or the energy drinks, but they will be legging it. They don't want to go up against a full 4-man.
Where's Glitter Explosion? Glitter Explosion is actually going to be on PMGC West today. Audrey, aka Span Cargo, is going to be the host, and Glitter and I will be the analysts for today.
But all these aforementioned teams, they've had that one decent game. They've had that one chicken dinner game or a high fragging couple of games, and they've managed to, just kind of increase the gap between themselves and a 16th
50k sub, make a montage. I'm probably gonna make a video just about my journey up until 50k. If I do a video, that video, I'm not gonna promise you guys a video because
I don't think they've
yeah.
Because of course they know more than us because they're a team. They will have talked to each other. There's nothing like massively stands out as making big mistakes. But maybe that is part of the problem. Maybe they haven't taken enough risks. Maybe they haven't tested that flex as heavily to find that limit. There's something that isn't going right. Hopefully, and I believe that they'll fix it coming into the second week. But the biggest fear for them in the end of the first Super Weekend is even if they get 20, 30 points.
Do you think DRS has leveled up compared to last year? I think a lot of the SCA has played a lot better or leveled up. I mean, we see it now. They're doing a lot better than the Chinese teams. Like, this is week 1. I think the Chinese teams are just adjusting to the game now. Because this game is a little bit different than PEL or Battle or Game for Peace.
Points required for the 16th place team that play 2 Super Weekends.
Yeah.
And it's roughly 85 points plus.
I think a lot of these teams have improved a lot.
So you're looking at around
out of the 16 teams playing right now, how many of them have a coach? I don't know. I don't know which teams have coaches. I know the Chinese teams all have a coach for sure. I'm not sure about the other teams.
Probably not aware of someone occupying those houses. So, despite a couple of early knocks here, it has been a bit of a uncharacteristically quiet start to a Sanok we've had thus far in Paris. But I want to.
If you look at Nova's POV, they are always laughing.
On the point you just made right there. So
I guess they're not trying super seriously, but they should be.
And these are for the teams who are going to be playing only the once, 2 Super Weekends, right?
Yes.
Here's where things can.
I think Nova is just taking it easy, but they're definitely trying to do the best they can.
You have at least 4 or 5 teams. I would say it's an exponential line, but it's more like a linear line where you have 3-4 teams way at the bottom.
None of the MENA teams have coached. None of the Nepali teams have coaches.
Teams cracking top 12 to maybe top.
No, thank you for subscribing.
And then you have the battle for the top 3, top 4, right? Here, sure, you have Infinity way in the top, but if you look at the gradual, it's a linear line, I feel like. And then at the very bottom, you have only one team, and that is Nigma Galaxy, who, as we said, they just need one good game, and they could be catching up with Tongjiabao and Cryptics. So
overall, for the 4 teams who are sitting this one out, not only do they have to qualify, and this is a point we made yesterday as well, they don't only have to qualify for the next Super Weekend. I mean, there's 100% they need to, but at the same time, there is no easy team that can, you know, push on down beneath them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so glad you touched upon that. The standard is so high, so there's very few, if any, weak links.
I don't know how well Chinese players and coaches are compensated.
To get free kills on, so to speak. But this circle is going down. The blue zone is closing in. Reject made more than one mistake in this game so far. In yesterday's Sandhawk game, they initially
I have a coach. Only issues we have it, so she talks so much and I never listen.
Sandhawk game today.
Okay,
they
Norden.
out of Pineland earlier. Why? So they wouldn't get caught out by Reject. That's adaptability personified. Reject paid the price.
And right now, Cryptic is paying the price. A team who managed to get a top 3, top 4 finishing in the previous game, and right now they are getting hounded by multiple teams. And right now, the team who's right at their heels is, of course, Genesis Dogma again. Now, Genesis Dogma are a team who almost guarantee themselves a team or a squad wipe every single game, right? They always have this middle placings. We saw them completely decimate Stalwart Esports earlier, and now it looks like they're going to be finishing off.
I like the way GD's playing this.
Cryptics, who did come under fire from other teams as well. I do believe it was Nova who was able to find one nice attempt at the nade from Senkai, but he's got a lot of work to do, and he's getting surrounded. You can see the flank coming in as well. His days are numbered, and he will be quickly put into the ground with the Vector gangland style in the back. Base of the
Do you think it's
skull.
time to switch to TPP to
game.
FPP for all comp games? I would like FPP for all comp games.
No, I was saying, like, you know, gangland.
Yeah, I know.
Let's not confuse the wording.
Okay. I was just trying to, you know, like, bring it back to many years ago. But anyway, Stalwart playing in.
I thought you said the other one. Never mind. I'll get back to you later.
Okay. No, it's cool. Tongja Bao, their player getting knocked. We also saw in the kill feed Stalwart onto one of the Nova players, so Stalwart being quite active in this game so far. And when we looked at the PMPL South Asia, to me, one of the biggest kind of power plays for Stalwart was Sandhawk. This map specifically, they always seem to perform quite highly because they're a very aggressive team, so they took the map under their control. They are finding it much tougher in this PMGC, of course, because the standard is that little bit higher. Teams are more aggressive. But again, this is the final day of the first Super.
I don't know if I'm going to watch the last match, guys. I think I'm going to take a nap.
A little bit earlier, they needed to on this phase.
After this game, I'm going to go ahead and raid Shifan.
And I think one of the most impressive
I didn't get
about
enough
Stalwart
sleep.
Esports,
I think I'm going to get a nap before I have to cast PMGC West.
We've seen some rags to riches and riches to rags stories overall for a lot of these teams, right? You look at TJB, you look at Enigma Galaxy, Tippity top of the league stage, Deadeye's guys barely scraping their way through and looking fantastic right now. Stalwart Esports, sure they're not in the top 8, but what's the difference between top 4, you know, 4th place and Stalwart Esports? It's
exactly
measly, 17 points, and they placed in the top 5, top 4, I believe, during the league stage as well. They have been consistency personified, and I think that's the one thing you have to give credit.
Rate
to.
girls to feel better.
DRS, another team.
We're not gonna do that.
Right now, placed 415 points for the name. All 4 alive. You can't forget Mafia Ninja getting the brilliant 1 versus 3, and this time around he's got everyone in his team alive. But look at the nades getting lobbed in, all 3 nades timed perfectly together, but Mafia Ninja will evacuate the premises.
I forgot to tag
keep the stream on.
Instagram story yesterday when I tagged the whole
okay, Mafia Ninja's tagging.
Do you guys want me to keep the stream on so you guys can be here in chat?
To tag Jumper up, Fredo's
I'll make a poll.
Of course, repay that with a kill of his own. Mafia Ninja called out, and that kind of makes me think, why are Gyalzin and AJ just inside their shack when one of your teammates is being proactive? You kind of got to build on that. You kind of got to pick on that. I know Nima is a little bit further away, but to me, that's a little bit of disconnection, uncoordination from DRS. Get in the same playstyle, the same mindset. Otherwise, things like that happen.
I look tired in PMGC West. So I'm actually not as tired as I look. I just look tired because I have to be far away from the camera And then my eyes, when I'm at that distance, just look even smaller because I have small eyes to begin with. And also, like, these lights, okay?
Look at how far they are from each other. It's
like, these lights are supposed to be brighter. They're supposed to be like, I don't know if you could tell, but I just made my room a lot brighter. Okay, nothing's happening, so let me just. So like, this is the light level.
It's a fun area to watch, though.
Of course.
That when I'm casting, and I have two like really bright lights shining on me, and the camera's in the middle. So like, with the bright lights in my eyes, like, I don't want to keep my eyes super open because like the lights get in my eyes. Oh, let's go DRS.
Genesis Dogma really,
and so like I keep my my eyes just look smaller because of that reason too. So it just looks like I'm like super sleepy and like I'm like falling asleep.
In front of ourselves, it is going to be Team Secret trying to hunt down DRS, but DRS, they waited for the fight to come to their doorstep, and it's taking them down. 2 members knocked down, bleeding out in the open for Secret.
Okay, 69% of you guys said yes, so I guess I'll just leave the stream open. I look high as fuck. I've always got that. All throughout high school, people thought I was high all the time. Especially in high school, I got like no sleep while I was in high school. Because in high school, you have to wake up so freaking early. I'm actually waking up even earlier right now for PMGC as compared to when I was in high school. But high school sucks because it's school, and I sucked at school, and I hated school. But I would get like no sleep, so I would go to high school and go to class like with super red eyes. And you guys already say I look high, so imagine me with like red eyes, right? Like, I remember one time I was walking down the hallway of my school, and somebody like just came up to me and asked me like, "Yo, you got that good stuff?" They meant like, you know, weed, right? Because I looked high all the time, so they just thought like, dude, this guy smokes a lot, probably.
Just on the north side. Recon Finny have 2 players knocked.
Taking small laps, falling asleep again. Yeah, I know it's not good, but my schedule is kind of just right that way right now. I'll try and reset it and fix it Monday. Like, I've been falling asleep at like 8 p.m. trying to sleep the whole way through, but I keep waking up after 5 hours of sleep.
I'll just keep all 4 members alive, but also, you know, kind of find themselves a bit of
Australia's school starts at like 9 to 10 a.m. For the US, it starts at like it starts at like 6:30 a.m.
The majority of them, the rest of them, they're pretty intact. Sure, Tangja Bao, the Xavier.
It's 6:30 a.m. or 7 a.m. I think it's 6:30 a.m.
But it's one of the,
yeah, American high school starts super fucking early. It's so bad.
In our experience thus far,
like 99% of the kids are not getting enough sleep in high school, man. Like, it's bad.
I'd like to say, you know, it is going to be Big Daddy Blue is going to claim the majority of them at the end.
Big Daddy Blue, that's I like that. Big Daddy Blue. I can't help but feel that's a little bit more aggressive than Papa Blue, or a little bit more dangerous.
I like that push.
Yeah, you're dead right. That dam is gonna break, and as you get into
okay, I'm gonna lower the lights because it's already hurting my eyes.
Quicker, teams get closer together. Players are maybe a little bit afraid.
So like, this is the light that I'm like comfortable with.
Its job. Infinity Newsy takes a couple of shots towards DRS, but that's a lovely nade by Nima to find Newsy with.
Like, you see how the lights got a lot dimmer, but when I'm on camera, it has to, the lights have to be bright and then just like shining in my eyeballs, right?
Your player down. Not
oh.
Yeah,
wow.
Looking good. And Annis will be finished off. Rico Infinity coming.
And that guy like hopped from one rock to another.
6 to 8. They're not looking as bloodthirsty as they did in the previous map, though. They're a little bit more composed, and oh boy, Oh boy, look at that zone, Imperium.
Yeah, 6:30 a.m.
You said it, like for teams, it's very uncomfortable.
Our school is like
Someone
6:30 a.m. to
who
2:30
enjoys
p.m.
watching the pandemonium, the chaos, and players struggling to find some footing. It is definitely looking like it's going to be a treat.
If Tongja Bao can get rid of the Xavier, this could be a very strong result. Off the back of a chicken dinner, I'd like to see that momentum secured for the Chinese side, who've had a big struggle bus in the Super Weekend so far. Reject
What time is it
dead
right now? It is
center. They did
8:30
lose a
a.m.
player early on, but still 3-man strong. And Genesis Dogma, a little bit similar to Tongja Bao. Not as much of a high ground, but they are in a very strong position, having buildings to their advantage.
Lord getting caught out in rotation, and yeah, Deadeye's guys, they're just getting whittled down here. Nova are collapsing on their position, and Fragboy
Make a pull on the lights. I mean, I know I could take off the lights right now.
Powerboy and Jimmy grouping up together.
It'd be like this dark with no lights.
Back the Nova. Well, it's going to be QCL actually with a nade. Lovely nade there to find Fragboy and Deadeye's.
I was just saying, like when I'm doing analyst desk for PMGC West, I have to have the lights really bright. So like it just hurts my eyes if I keep my eyes open too wide. Because naturally my eyes are just more closed and smaller, but that makes me look sleepy.
Yeah, he's a little bit more in the west, so I can't see him joining into this chaos anytime soon. I find it interesting that Tongja Bao gave up the hillside outside of Quarry to commit to the compound.
Ours is 9:30 to 3. Dang, lucky.
Stronger in
ZooTay after dark.
But I thought they might hold on to the hill to pick up the elevated position. Maybe keep one player on the hill at least. But they've committed to one.
Where am I in the US? I'm in Houston, Texas. So Texas.
The battle of the STEs.
Oh, STE. STE will always fight on Sandhawk just because they rotate next to each other.
Damage, and I love this from Daoshi. He's being very, very, very brave indeed. Out in the open, Cry could use that little bit of.
Oh my god.
Problem, but somehow he
Action was trying to do that thing where if you jump punch, apparently you make less sound. So he was like trying to jump punch his way to flank. But oh my god, the Star Wars got destroyed right there.
They get obliterated.
Just like Nigma Galaxy, they go down at the hands of MS Chambori. They push in, they crash. The perfect time for MS Chambori, and they've been the kind of dark horses, Chambori, of this day 3. They've picked up some solid results. They've stepped themselves up in the overall standings. Yeah, okay, they're not looking maybe as good as what we know they're capable of, but for a team turning things around, they certainly are.
I like that from shots. He was just lying in wait, very quiet, almost gets the knock, but great spacing coming from Infinity. Trade very effectively, very efficiently. 11 teams, 33 left alive. D Xavier, they're going to be making their way. And once again, it's going to be Tongja Bao and D Xavier next to each other. Unfortunately, D Xavier getting caught between a rock and a hard place called DRS and Tongja Bao. And they're going to find their first. They're going to claim their first victim will TJB. And meantime, Nova now, they're trying to cross on in, but almost, it looks like in a span of a heartbeat, 3 members get knocked down instantaneously by MS Chonburi. Nova just have 1 man.
He saw 4 Rivals players stream. He said they play in 200 to 300 ping. Damn.
No, what's in front of us? Let's focus on what's behind us.
How many girlfriends did I have during high school?
Still ongoing as a blue is throwing itself inside the likes of Tongja Bao and Xavier. The last
2?
player from Xavier trying to heal up.
I had 2
DRS
girlfriends.
Gonna try and pick up a couple of kills. Show the opportunity arise. Rabis is healing up.
Yeah, I had 2 girlfriends.
Right now. It's TJB, they got taken down. Rab is just lying in wait, waiting for someone to take the shot, and he's going to be found out. Actually, the zone which takes care of TJB.
Do you guys want to see what my exes look like?
Whatever you want to call it, is the inevitable coming in and claiming its victims.
Obviously, everyone's going to say yes.
Xavier Rab is still somehow alive in the blue. Infinity.
I'm not going to show you guys. Maybe I don't know. Maybe another time for a special occasion, I'll show you guys.
Incredible thus far. 6 kills, 4 alive, and alongside Genesis Dogma, a fantastic.
I feel like I have shown this stream before, like a long time ago.
It's just gonna be the big
I feel like I showed
Dogma
the stream.
we see the big Genesis Dogma chicken dinner? I really hope so. They certainly put themselves in that position. Deadeye's guys go down. MS Trombori suffer one casualty. Reject finally have to move out, and they get taken.
How many X's have I had?
Trying to stay out of trouble.
Including Saku, 4. I don't have that many girlfriends, because for me, like, if I am gonna commit to a relationship, like, girlfriend-wise, then, like, it's usually because I want to take a serious relationship. So I haven't dated that many girls.
Waiting patiently, waiting for MS Trombori to get a little too over-eager, and he will find one. NC2 aware of his position as well, but they have to remember, Genesis Dogma, they're just waiting for all this commotion to subside before they swoop in and try and claim the chicken dinner.
It's a three-way dance, but DRS are down.
Sandhog ends here quite a lot, I feel like. It always ends the same way. Whoever controls the warehouses makes it out alive. Whoever just stayed in these buildings have a good time of coming out alive, and there's always going to be one player from another team that makes it up here. It like always happens like this.
Let's see if they can get a better position.
I can't even see them on my map, honestly. But here we
GD though, with a really good push.
Ducking and weaving around. Jasper, one man standing, one nade. He could at least.
Oh!
Striking from outside in the blue, and he might just have done MS Trombori a massive favor. 3 alive, but Jasper is the only person inside the circle.
GD Gids could have won that. Infinity made it to 3rd place.
Infinity. I can't even see them. Oh, there we go.
There you go. Can Snickle pull off a team secret? Can he grab the final 2 kills from the blue?
No.
They have to make a move. He does have a number of first aids, but yeah, they do know where he is.
I have only 4 X's. I'm 27.
Toss in a nade and get the chicken dinner from out in the blue. I would have probably have thrown.
I'm 27, so I think 4 X's and 27 is like.
Getting a very well-deserved chicken dinner. I think they got like 10 kills at the end.
You guys gotta remember, I'm like 27. I'm older.
Being helped out by Gyalzin. Because Genesis Dogma, they waited perfectly.
Yeah, Sakumai and I broke up.
Gyalzin somehow, with his last dying breath, he strikes.
Yeah, and it's a big game for MS Trombori, because again, we alluded to the fact that they had a really hard start in the Super Weekend. They weren't really looking good. They were making a lot of mistakes. They were.
All right, KJ, don't watch the last match and see if Chinese team wins. 4 X's is very low by US standards. Yeah, in the US, people date more often.
And I think he's really used that experience to gather the team to turn this day 3 around. In day 1 of the Super Weekend, for example, they got 17 points.
No, Saku broke up with me. Saku wanted to end the relationship. And all my relationships,
they had a total of 27 points. So add on top of what they got in this game 4, and
actually, in 2 of my relationships, it was very like mutual. We both just weren't really happy with each other. In my very first relationship, my ex broke up with me, and then in my last relationship with Saku, she broke up with me. I've never broken up with a girl.
Yeah, not gonna happen today.
Did you know?
I think what happened in 2 of my relationships is like I didn't break up with her, but like we just both were just not very happy, and eventually it was just like we were just both like, I think we should, end the relationship, and I was like, yeah, I think so too. But I've never been in a relationship where I broke up with a girl and she didn't want to end things.
Yeah, so Genesis Dogma, it's a justified big result. Unfortunately, not the chicken dinner, but I'm glad you highlighted him in this game. A big team performance.
absolutely like a great showing overall coming out from them. I think a lot of the teams are going to be reasonably happy with the way this one played out. Nigma Galaxy, again, their woes do continue. I really would love them to kind of, if not get a chicken dinner, at least have a big final game. Because coming up next, it is going to be the final game of the first Super Weekend, right? So for a lot of these teams, especially teams way the bottom.
Okay.
Or even
I think I'm gonna go rest.
Solidify the position, ensure that heading to second Super Weekend, they're not gonna be too worried about.
I'm gonna leave the stream up though for you guys.
We're gonna be going straight to the desk to break down what was
I'm gonna go get a quick nap in before PMGC West starts. So
you guys aren't out of time. Don't worry, you can take it back. Blend and Pyram gonna break down the last match. We'll see you guys in a few. No, I hope the production was like, oh no, what do we do? No, we're gonna break down the last match, and honestly, these last two matches today so far have pretty much just been a battle from the bottom to the top,
Jason's
right?
trolling.
All
right, I'll turn up the sound for you guys.
Two teams who desperately need to start picking up some points to move up that leaderboard, and more importantly, to create a bigger buffer if they fail.
I'm gonna go take a nap. I'll see you guys in PMGC West if you guys are there. If not, that's fine. I think for today's stream, if you were here for the whole ZooTay life lesson type thing,
it's a compound that's, I mean, it's
I hope you guys
finish, right?
like
so you want to try and
enjoyed
hold on
it.
to
I
those
guess
more
I don't know.
with this type of circle.
Like,
MS
yeah.
where he gets himself in that position.
Alright,
able
I'll
to
see
back
you
out
guys.
big
Bye.
time
Take
as
care.
well,
So
but
since I'm
finished
leaving,
with 27,
have a
there's
good
something I
morning,
look
good
back
afternoon,
on
or good
my
night,
future side of
wherever you
circles
guys
of other
are.
games. I have the impression, Kalaris, unfortunately,
And
that
stay grinding.
Nigma Galaxy find
Hashtag
a really
ZooNation
that
strong.
sometimes ends up being the
Alright guys,
game-winning
peace.
compound,
I'm out.
And the team that actually ends up winning crashes them super early and then they win. It's just
Yeah.
we need to see Nigma try and defend those sometimes because it's just so unfortunate. They could actually potentially get wins sometimes.
I mean, that's the thing about these compounds, right? A lot of the time when I'm looking at Sandhawk, I'm like, all right, who has nice compounds? All right, the circles favor them. All right, they win. Like, but actually,
Okay, well, hold on. I'm seeing people saying to raid Chiffon. So I made a poll earlier. Like, I asked you guys, should I keep my stream on? And then you guys just stay here and chill, or should I just end the stream and raid someone?
Once again, 0 points. And I
So
know
if I'm
that
raiding
these
Chiffon, I'm
people
ending the
are far
stream.
more than what we've seen from them over these couple of days, but they are.
I feel like I should just raid
significantly
someone.
behind now in terms of points.
Because you guys could still talk in Chiffon's stream, and Chiffon doesn't have that many people like in his chat, so it's not like it's going to be too different. Yeah, and there's such a long break. I'll go ahead and raid Chiffon.
Oh no, okay.
You guys could all talk in Chiffon's stream.
Round 9, but I was scared because between rounds 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, they've had 4 kills. Other than that 4 kills in that one game, they've had 0 kills across those last couple of...
Hopefully he's still alive.
Just trying out different things for this PMGC.
Alright.
They're preparing for the grand final. As long as they can get in
Go
the top
support
16
Chiffon.
every week, they're chilling. They don't need to like, you know, just play insanely like.
Alright, if you guys hate Chinese teams or you think Chinese teams are overrated, don't go to Chiffon's stream.
The tips are really good, bro. Alright. You're really working. Thank you.
Alright, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye.
For letting me know I didn't put my waste, like I didn't put my time in the waste, because it cost me a lot of time to making tutorial videos.